Hey, everybody. Good afternoon or good evening, depending on where you're watching from. Your DJStaples93 here. I'm glad you guys could all make it. Just to kind of give you a heads up, we're going to do our little DJ conversation roundtable with all of our DJ friends here this evening. And of course, we have two very special guests that we have here this afternoon. Yeah, thanks, Chris. Yeah, I want to give a shout out to you, Chris, S810X in the chat. From California. He's always the first one. Anytime I go live, he's always the absolute first one in the chat. So shout out to him. Anyway, so this afternoon, this evening, we're going to have a nice little roundtable conversation. We got two really cool people I'm excited to talk to with all of you guys. First, we got moderator extraordinaire. She's a Twitch celebrity. Mary, yeah, she's giving me like the stop face already. Mary, quite contrary, moderator of the stars, if you will. And speaking of stars, a star in his own right, Sam Nation, also going to be joining the conversation. Sam is a graphic designer, and he is also a DJ and has some great stories that we're going to try and pull out of him here this evening. So looking forward to chatting with him. Now, of course, typically joining me in these conversations are we have some of our DJ pals, some of my pals joining us. So we have the likes of Retro Mix Harding, Eli Katz will be here. But first and foremost, I want to introduce the man, the myth, the legend, as Tom Hall would say, the one and only Impressions DJs, ladies and gentlemen. So how about it? Let's have a nice round of applause for Dan and Impressions. Hey, I feel like we need sound effects.
That's right. We need the sound. See,
we need applause.
Thank you. How you doing, everyone? Thanks for joining in. How are you?
Thanks for joining me, buddy.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. It's it's Monday, but for the most part, yeah. How about you?
Yeah, it's Monday. We'll leave it at that. Yeah,
Okay.
Wish it was Friday, right?
Yeah, no kidding. I believe the term goes, everybody's lurking for the weekend.
That's right. That's right.
So the other guys should be joining us very soon. And I also just want to give you a shout out, Dan, because Dan helped me, everybody, put today all together, and we got the nice graphics in the background to try and look fancy. I think we're doing okay. I think we're doing all right. So with that, let's bring in our guest, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right. So like I said, she's a Twitch legend already, from the West Coast of California. If she's not on here moderating, she's on Dan's channel moderating for 24 hours, no less. She's on Bracktunes moderating. I mean, she is the Twitch moderator. She was on Retro Mix. I don't know. I think the real thing with Mary is to try and find a channel she has not moderated for. Right?
That's true. That is true. Yeah.
Henry Hefe, thank you for the subscription, my friend. So without further ado, let's all welcome Mary into the chat, shall we? Hey.
Hey.
Hi, Mary. How are you?
Hey, how are you?
I'm well, thank you.
I just want to let it soak in, everybody. We got Mary quite contrary on stream.
Stop.
That's it.
Don't be embarrassed. Everybody's excited to talk to you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
There you go. And then the man, the myth, the legend as well from the West Coast. Like I said, graphic artist. I felt so bad. And I'll explain this story in a little bit when he's on here. Graphic artist and a DJ, no less. And I'm going to ask him when he's going to start streaming on Twitch. Sam Nation 3000. There he is.
Yay.
Hello. What's up, Sam? How are you?
Hi. All right.
I love your background, buddy. I'm so glad you're able to join us.
Yeah, I put that in especially for today.
What, oh, is that like a fake background? That's not real?
Yes, it is. No, I don't live in a record store now.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sure some of the younger viewers, if we have younger viewers, might ask you, what are those things in the background?
Right. Yeah, they're big pieces of cardboard.
Yeah, exactly. That eventually turn into Frisbees.
Yeah.
Coasters can only get so big, right?
That's true. That's true. So how are you guys? I'm so glad everybody could join us today. How are you?
I'm well, a little tired as usual. Sleep is a commodity, so yeah.
What? How many hours of sleep did you get today, Mary?
Let's see. I went to sleep about 7:30 this morning, and I slept until noon. So that was a nice run.
Nice little nap.
Yeah, that was good. 4.5, 5 hours of sleep.
Very good.
Yeah,
Sam,
great.
did you get sleep?
Did I get sleep?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I sleep very well.
Okay. I'm always curious to find out, right? Because everybody, like, you could go on Twitch at any given time, at any given day, and there's a lot of the same people that are there. So, and I'm not talking bad about it. I just find it interesting. I'm always curious to how if people get any sleep around here.
Yes, I do get sleep.
So Mary, let's
Sometimes
talk
there's
to
just
you
people
about
on all the
Twitch.
time. That's true. It seems
I'm
like
sorry, Dan. What was that?
Yeah, it seems that sometimes that that people are just on 24/7, nonstop for sure, right? So you often wonder that, when does that sleep happen?
Especially when the DJs are doing a 24-hour stream and they have to hang out for the whole thing.
Right.
No pressure whatsoever, though. So, Mary, talk to me. How long have you been on Twitch?
Coming upon my year, I think it's April 11th or 12th. That's when I created my account. So almost a year.
How did you find out about Twitch?
Well, it's kind of a long little, I went to one of those 80s concert nights here in LA at the Microsoft Theater. This was probably December or January of 2019, early 2020, I can't remember. And it's basically a concert with a bunch of bands like the Violent Femmes, the Romantics. They had MC Hammer. And during the show, Richard Blade, who's the K-Rock DJ, got up between one of the sets and talked about 80s in the Sand, which is a week in October where people can go to Cancun. And it's an immersive Gen X experience where they have just a bunch of bands come and performers come, the actual bands. And people go and stay at a resort in Cancun and they just basically party for a week, listening to bands at poolside, and they have club dancing. So like the DJs, and that's basically how it is. One of the DJs who participates in that is Stephen Wayne. And I followed him on Facebook through this 80s in the Sand. And then he said, hey, I'm starting to stream on Twitch. Everybody come over here. So I joined in and listened to his stream. And then I started exploring, and it was just mind-blowing. And the first site that I found, the first channel I found was DJ Rice Cube, and I was hooked. I mean, the music was incredible, and I hadn't heard a lot of this a lot of these songs in years.
Mhm.
So, and that's basically how it all started. So I was really happy.
Wow.
And when you discovered Twitch, like when did you get into the whole moderator role? How did that come about?
Oh, that happened way later. Probably not until the end of summer. Maybe, I want to say maybe August, early September. I can't remember exactly, but DJ Rice Cube was the first one to ask me to mod. And it was really unexpected. Before that, I had never even really paid attention to what mods did.
Mhm.
I just went to a lot of channels and I chatted with people and I just listened to music. I was really excited about the music. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, one day, he just asked me to be a moderator. And I said yes. I didn't really know what to do. I had no idea what I was doing. And soon after, Retromix asked me as well. And then after that, I started, a lot of other people started asking me, but they were basically the first two to ask me to be a moderator. At that time, I had no idea what I was doing. I said yes blindly, and then started trying to watch other moderators really fast to figure out what to do. So I learned as I went along.
There's a question in the chat from S810X, who's also known as Chris. He wants to know how you met me.
I think through Retromix channel, right? You showed up. I don't even know when. You just sort of started coming, and I don't remember when you came. And then we chatted, and you talked about doing a channel. And so when you started, I remember coming. I think I came to one of your first broadcasts and just listened. So
That's it. I just show up. That's the story of my life. I just show up.
Yeah. I don't remember when you started showing up, but you just did.
No, I know. I just wanted to, I want to acknowledge Chris's question in the chat because he's always the first one whenever I go live. So after Rice Cube, who did you start moderating for after that as your next?
Well, Retromix,
Retromix?
yeah, that was, so for a while, those were kind of the main two, and probably within 2 weeks after that, I started getting flooded with requests.
Mhm.
So I at the time, I didn't think anything of it, but I just said yes to everybody. I just, I didn't really know what I was doing and what that meant. So I pretty much just added, within probably a month, I added many DJs before I really knew what I was committing to. So yeah, it just a lot. And these are DJs all over the world. I actually, like the Australian DJs, I had been, going to a lot of their channels. And so I was modding for a couple of Australian DJs. I have a UK DJ now, Brazilian DJs, and of course, Canadians and Americans. So yeah, it's pretty, and they just kept adding. I mean, even this week, I have a new one, I had a new one. I had to decline politely because I think I'm a little over right now, over my limit. I just can't take on new, but yeah, they just keep coming. So
That's the price to pay to be like the most famous mod on Twitch. You should be the one that's on the commercials before we live stream. You know what I mean? Like, do you ever see those commercials where like, oh, we're giving you all those bits? Yeah, they're for you. It's like a Miller Lite sponsored commercial before all the streams. That should be you.
Right.
I want to know who I have to write to get you on those moderation commercials at the beginning of every stream.
I don't want to be on a moderation commercial, so it's really no problem at all. I'm not interested in that kind of attention.
Well, maybe we can at least get you all those bits in cash for crying out loud.
Well, that'd be nice. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
If I could. Yeah, that would help. I mean, I do spend a lot, but yeah, that would help.
Heather in the chat said something like, "Yeah, for Tinder." I don't know what that's about.
What?
I don't know if you're talking about.
Let me see what she said.
Sandals.
Yeah, nice, Heather.
I don't know. I'm not even touching live. I went there, but
yeah.
Mary, let me ask you a question because actually Love Bunny kind of asked this as well, and I'll bring hers up. So, how many channels do you mod for? First of all, because I know you said you've had to drop off on some channels. What's the most number of channels that you've ever modded for?
I think at the height of it, maybe 24 or 25.
Wow.
But keep in mind, a lot of those channels are very small channels. And those DJs don't go on very often, like maybe once, twice a week, regularly. Of course, you know, when I was modding for Retro Mix, he was on almost every day. That was a large bulk of time. And a lot of the DJs, which are smaller, they'll go on, you know, maybe 3 or 4 hours once a week or twice a week. And I can pretty much count on their schedule. You know, so it's not a constant stream of DJs, but there have been days when I've basically modded. I started at 9 a.m. and when one finished, another started, and another. So I remember days when I would go from 9 a.m. until about 2 or 3 a.m. So maybe 18 hours of just straight modding for lots of different DJs all day. That's unusual, but that's happened a number of times. So it just depends on the day and the schedules, and people do pop-ups. So I try to go to those as much as I can. The difficult days are Friday and Saturday nights. I often have 4 or 5 DJs going at the same time. So I just I have to pick and choose. I tried to do 4 this past Friday because there were no other mods available at the time. And so I was doing
like when you're doing like 4 or 5 channels at once. That's
well, I'm basically popping in and out of each channel. I have 3 devices that I can use. I use a PC, a laptop, and my phone. Yeah. And of course, on a laptop or PC, you can open up multiple tabs. But it's hard to keep. It's challenging. I don't do that. I find that I can manage 2 channels well, especially busy channels. The hardest part is when raids are happening. You know, if they're all getting raided at the same time, that makes me crazy because I'm trying to, you know, welcome people and keep track of every DJ has their own raid protocol. So I just want to make sure I'm following that. And so that gets tricky. But other than that, you know, once things settle down, it's not bad. I can do it. It's not my favorite thing to do. I like to focus on the channels if I can, because I love the music. But yeah, it can get a little dicey when I'm trying to do multiple channels.
Mary, I got a question for you, and this might cause a little rift some here on Twitch, but I'm going to ask you the hard-hitting questions. Are you ready?
Great.
Because I know you were nervous about questions, so I'm going to ask you the hardest question someone's ever going to ask you on Twitch.
Don't say it. Don't.
Who
don't make me
you
say
like
it.
the best? Who's your favorite DJ on
I refuse to answer that. I will not answer that because several DJs that I'm mod for are right here. I'm not going to say it. And who knows how many are watching. So I'm not going to say anything.
All right, I'm going to rephrase the question.
I love them all. How about that?
Yeah. I'm going to rephrase the question. How many other DJs on Twitch have put you on their channel on video like this?
Touche.
Yeah. And this is why Mary's great, because she, you know, those that do know me, I love hair metal. I'm not going to deny you, and I don't have that. I love glam. Right. Poor Mary hates it. Give or take a Def Leppard song here or there, right? Throw a little portion sugar on it. Yeah, it's not her favorite. But God bless her, man. She hung out and she stayed in the chat. And I believe there was one stream I did, Mary, where you actually said like you were busy or you were tired and you kind of didn't want to be there. So I'm like, it's all good. It's all good. Go do your
I'm sorry about that. I was probably crabby that day.
Sorry at all. It's all I you know.
If you really want to get rid of Mary, though, just play country music and you're good to go.
Yeah, country is also my, and so I've been telling a few people I made the ultimate mod sacrifice because DJ Bomba has been part of a country raid train the last couple of Wednesdays.
No,
and he specifically asked, there he is. Hi, DJ Bomba.
Hey, Bomba.
So he asked me if I would be there at a particular time because he needed help. And so I said, of course I would. But yeah, country is definitely a challenge for me. So yeah.
I didn't realize that DJ Bomba was a country fan.
I didn't either.
That just means that
I
he
had
can't
no
be bad.
idea. He normally plays, great 80s, and he does a lot of like house mixes too, and so it's great music. But then out of the blue, he said he was going to do a country raid train. So yeah, that was a little surprising. But hey, we went with it. Yeah, no, I wouldn't say I'm loving it. He wrote this. Yeah, no.
So I have here too. When you're modding for all these channels, and there's different commands and everything that each channel has. Like some people use Stream Element, some people use what's the other one there?
Streamlabs.
Right? So many different, and everybody changes their commands. How the heck do you keep track of who's on what and who's doing what and everything like that?
That is a very good question.
Mind blowing.
I use a very high tech stickies. So I have stickies with commands for. I mean, there are only a few DJs who have a list of commands. I'd have to say, I mod for Total Encore, who has. Love Bunny's in there. She'll know. This is like his list of commands.
Wow.
Cool, when he first asked me to mod, I was completely overwhelmed. I had no idea what I was doing, and I just basically wrote down, and I've been, trying to practice them. But I just when I go on a channel, I just look at my sticky and refresh. Like, here's yours impressions, and just try to. I've become more familiar with a lot of them now. But yeah, it can get a little overwhelming, and I have made the mistake of using the wrong command in the wrong channel multiple times. So I'm sorry about that, everyone. But it's hard to keep track sometimes when I'm switching from one to the other, or when and I have written the wrong thing in the wrong chats when I'm doing multiple channels. So it's a hazard, but hopefully people are forgiving.
I was going to say it's always fun to have a private chat with somebody, and then as you're chatting, you actually put it in the chat in somebody's channel. And then
yeah, I did that once or twice, and thankfully it wasn't really something really bad.
Yeah, you don't want to be talking bad about anybody. That's for sure.
That is definitely something to be careful of.
And so apparently it seems that Retro Mix Toronto is going to go all country tomorrow starting at noon. So there you go. And Hacker apparently as well.
What?
Yeah, so everybody's...
I love how everyone suddenly is going country.
Twitch,
everybody's going country.
365 country show.
What? Say that again, Dan?
Twitch needs a 24/7, 365 country show. All day, all night, all year round.
Yeah, you won't see me on Twitch for much longer then. I'm definitely not a country fan.
Well, that makes two of us. So at least we have that in common, Mary.
Right. There you go.
There will be no country on my channel ever, unless it's my kids hitting the buttons, and even still.
Okay, good. That's good to know. I'm safe.
No.
Yeah, I like exactly 2 country songs, and that's pretty much how it's going to be.
If you had to pick a favorite artist, Mary, who would it be? I have an idea, because I know. Look, I don't want to answer the question for you, but I just want to hear if there's somebody that throw us off.
Does anybody in the chat know this answer? Who knows it in the chat?
Let's see who knows. Well, actually, Disco Vinny, that's kind of a dark horse there. Disco Vinny answered, but that would not be my number one.
And please don't say Baby Shark.
No, not Baby Shark. No. Stop, Hacker. Yeah. Okay, so Sam knows, obviously.
Yeah. Everybody knows.
Number one band, Depeche Mode.
Okay, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah. So, yeah, my top 5 they're all like new wave, New Order. And I really love, like Henry Hefe wrote The Cult. So that was kind of a joke at Bracktoons. He was giving me a birthday bash in October. And at the time he wanted me to pick all of my favorite music. Mm-hmm. And E Squared, who was my co-mod there, she piped up and said, "Oh, it's going to be all Depeche Mode and one Cult song." And it was kind of a joke, really, but it sort of stuck. And so now Bracktoon will play one Cult song for me every stream. And so everybody knows it's time for my Cult song. And it's kind of a running joke. And he says if somebody else plays more than one cult song for me in one day, he'll hunt them down in their sleep and murder them.
Oh,
So
yeah.
he came in Rice Cube's chat the other day and said, he was upset because Rice Cube played a cult song, and then Rice Cube became defiant and played another cult song. So it was a DJ clash, but it was fun. It was fun. But I do love Olivia Newton-John, as some people have alluded to in the chat. Olivia Newton-John is sort of my favorite from childhood. I had all her records. I memorized the music. I, of course, saw Xanadu 1,000 times. I still see it. And so.
What's your favorite song of all time?
Favorite song of all time?
No pressure.
I don't know. That's a hard one. I like so many songs.
One of the comments that I know you like this one song and Retro Mix brought it up and said it in the chat there.
The Cause and Effect song, there's so many. There's like Xanadu, I love. Let's see what people are saying. Alan Parsons, yeah, I love that song, Don't Answer Me. Yeah. Of course, any Depeche Mode song, just about. My favorite is, of course, But Not Tonight, and Shake the Disease. But I love OMD. I love, New Order, Pet Shop Boys. I just, all the music, I love it. Like CCCP. I grew up in San Diego in the 80s. I was a teen in the 80s. I was in high school from 82 to 86. And that was like prime new wave. I was listening to 91X and K-Rock. And at the time, I thought everyone was. Apparently, we were one of the only ones in the country who were. But I was completely immersed in the new wave music. So all this stuff brings me right back to high school. I listened 24/7, like the Cure albums. I had them memorized. Depeche Mode. It was just, that was my time. And I'm so glad now that I was a teen at that time, because the music was just incredible. And it's all, when I first heard some of that music, like at Rice Cube and Retro Mix, I hadn't heard some of that music in 30 years, literally, because I raised 4 children and I was completely doing something else and wasn't listening to anything. And it brought me back. It was very emotional, because I had so many memories associated with those songs that I hadn't even thought of for 30 years. So that was really exciting to find Twitch. It's been an amazing experience for me, I'd have to say.
Nice.
What was the last live band you saw?
Well, the English Beat. They were here in Ventura right before COVID. They came to a really small club. Apparently, he lives here, or he stays here, or I'm not sure. There's a connection here in Ventura. So they came to a club called Discovery, which is a very small venue. And I and some paddling friends went, and it was jam-packed. And he was literally like 5 feet from me. It was such a small venue, and I was dancing to the English Beat the whole night. It was a great, great night. And then of course COVID hit pretty soon after, but that was a great night. But I did go to the Oingo Boingo drive-in concert during the COVID. I think it was October maybe. I don't even remember. There's no time right now. I have no concept of time, but several months ago, I did go to the Oingo Boingo drive-in concert. And at the time, I invited, of course, Victor, who didn't go. He ditched me at the last minute. And I invited KGB. I know. Nice. I invited KGB and his wife, and my DJ Dan, too. I invited him and his wife. They couldn't go. But I also invited my live tube, Shock. I don't know if any of you know him. He came. He brought some friends who are also on Twitch. I think Pierce Music is her name. She's another DJ. And anyway, so he brought 3 friends. I had a couple of friends. And we also met DJ Trip and Becca at the concert. They came down from Northern California. So I met them after and talked to them. That was a really fun night, and it was really great to meet all these people. So that's the last concert I've been to since.
And that was a driving style, right?
Yes, it was at the Ventura County Fairgrounds. So everyone just drove up and you parked and everyone was dancing outside of their cars. It was a really good concert. I have to say, you know, not like a real concert in a, you know, inside, but it was, for what it was great to be there, and the music was great.
Was it like a weird atmosphere, being that it was a drive-in style, even though, I mean, obviously everybody got out of their cars like you said, but did
Yeah.
it feel weird? Did it feel different?
Yeah, I mean, it was a little strange. I've never been to a concert like that before. So, you know, it was all new, and, you know, people, you could walk right up to the stage, really. Some people were wearing masks, some people weren't. And it just, you know, it was just sort of a random weird mix. And I met some friends there that I know locally. And so it was fun. It was a great night. And meeting Twitch people was really exciting. It was really fun. I have met other Twitch people. I did meet Heather Kaufman and
Nice.
Flashback Video Dance Party during the summer when he was moving to Georgia. Right before he moved to Georgia, he DJ'd a live event at a winery near Heather down in Temecula, or yeah, I think it was Temecula. So I drove down there and I met Heather and also another person in his chat, Nurse Amy. And so we met and then listened to him DJ live for a few hours. That was fun. So those are pretty much the only people I've met from Twitch. So yeah.
Prior to Twitch, what did you like to do for fun? Or sorry, prior to COVID, what did you like to do for fun? I know you paddled and you did all that kind of thing, but
Well, I've raised 4 kids, so that has been the bulk of my experience.
that's it? There's 4 kids?
Well, you know,
I'm only
when you're a stay-home mom, your kids sort of become your focus. So that for a lot of years, that was my focus. A couple of years ago, you know, of course, my older daughters, they all went to college. When my 3rd daughter left for college and my son went to high school the same year, that was a big change for me. Suddenly nobody was here. And of course, nobody needed me anymore. So I went through sort of my little midlife crisis moment where I needed to figure out what to do with my life. And I went back to school. I joined the paddling team. And I, you know, of course, had been going to the gym. And I started going to concerts. So I had so many concerts lined up for 2020. I can't even tell you guys. I mean, I was devastated when all these concerts. I had Journey, Janet Jackson. I had the Pet Shop Boys New Order. I just had so many things lined up because I had just started going to concerts again. So that was really hard. But, you know, just prior to COVID, I went back to school because I graduated from college way back in the 90s. I worked for a long time, but then I became a stay-home mom, and I just stayed home for 17 years. So at that point, it's hard to get back into the workforce, and I need to be able to support myself. So I just went back to school and started over. So it's kind of a transition time for me right now. I'm going to be supporting myself again, and, you know, in a few years, my son, he's a junior in high school. So once he's done, then I'll be totally on my own. But yeah, so I'm just sort of in a transition time, focusing on my new career. And I have taken a break from school because I hate not going to class. So I'm holding off until they start holding classes again.
well, kudos to you, because it's tough, right, to go back to school later in age, and it is what it is. So props to you, Mary. That's a pretty big deal. So
Thank you.
there is a question in the chat. Henry Hefe actually mentions, just want to make a mention of this. He went to college at 48 years young. So he says you're never too old to go back to school. So,
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, that's good to know, Henry.
and Henry probably knows more about music than everybody in the entire school.
He does. Henry he's very knowledgeable. He always wins Brack tunes.
Yeah, that pisses me off. I don't know how you fight so fast.
I think it pisses everyone off because he always wins.
Damn you, Henry. Damn you.
I get frustrated when I'm playing those exactly for that reason.
Like, what's that, Dan?
I get frustrated when I'm playing that in his channel. It's like, how does this guy answer this so fast and like on the ball?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I stand up to get a pen and a paper, and Henry's already written down the answer before Bragg June.
Right. I mean, everyone. Yeah, he's so fast. I don't know how he does it, but it's amazing. He's obviously very, very knowledgeable.
Mary, they have a question for you in the chat as well. My pal Chris out on the West Coast, screen name is S810_X. I don't know what that's about. What was your very first concert?
Olivia Newton-John. It was at the time I was living in Oceanside, which is a really small beach town in northern San Diego County. That's where I was raised. And I found out Olivia Newton-John, who was, of course, my idol at the time, she was coming to San Diego for her physical tour, the Let's Get Physical.
I remember.
So my parents bought me 2 tickets, and my dad drove me to San Diego. I was, I think, in junior high. I was probably 7th or 8th grade. And my dad drove me, and I saw Olivia Newton-John. That was the first concert ever. After that, and when I went to high school, we moved to San Diego, and I went to high school. I saw tons of concerts in high school. Like, that's when all the new wave bands were touring, so they came to San Diego State and UCSD. So I saw Tears for Fears. I saw Sting, The Fix, Adam Ant. Oingo Boingo. I saw them with what's his name? I can't remember his name now. Danny Elfman. Oh, that was amazing. I just saw they were all coming to San Diego for some reason. I think San Diego was just sort of a hub at the time. So it was a great time to be a teen. And I went to so many concerts with my friends. But Olivia was the first one.
Disco Vinny also stated that it was also his first concert ever, but in 1976. So the rest of us were like really, really small.
Yeah, I was 8.
Yeah, he was probably in his 20s by then. But
nice.
I'm only messing with Vinny. I love that guy. But he says that was before the whole physical thing, and he said still had long hair. I just don't know if he's talking about him with long hair.
I was wondering the same.
Right?
Was that
or
Olivia
with long hair. I mean, I just found out that Disco Vinny's hair wasn't real a couple of weeks ago. So that's
it's not. He wears a lot of wigs.
He does. People pretty nice hat too.
He's still getting over that shocker of it not being real hair.
I told you guys, right? The first time I saw him play, Sam, do you follow Disco Vinny at all?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right. So the first time I went on, he's doing his thing. It was like I told the story one last time before, but he's doing his disco thing. And he's got the hair like Andy from WKRP parting in the middle, and he had like beautiful feathered hair. And I was like, is that beautiful hair? And then I found out it wasn't even real. So, and it's his favorite wig apparently. And then Victor says lots of people wear wigs. Good old Victor.
Yeah, yesterday was great. He was the Star Trek guy. He had Spock hair.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
It's always an interesting experience modding for him. So it's there's lots of cool emotes, and he's always got something going. So it's fun.
He says it looks almost like his real hair from the.
Mary, what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna bring in somebody. It's gonna be one of those like flashback shows.
Oh.
Yeah, this is your life, Mary.
The second person that you started modding for. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause. Please welcome Retro Mix Toronto.
Yay! Hi, Thomas.
Hi,
good to see you sat in the good lighting again, Tom.
Just join.
Somebody send Tom some light bulbs, please.
This is up here. That's all I have in here.
You need more hype trains so you can get more lights.
Crack the lines. Let the natural light in, man.
Yeah.
It is what it is. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Thanks for joining late.
Oh, I was on at the beginning. I didn't want to.
I know.
I don't want to be the focal point. I'm not Disco Vinny.
There we go. This is when it starts. Of course.
No, I wanted the focus to be on Mary. Nothing to do with me. I just wanted to listen and watch.
Do you have any questions for Mary?
Oh no, all my questions have been answered.
You're good. You got a gift.
Wow.
You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how long have you two actually known each other then?
Sorry.
How long have you guys actually known each other then? From like when
I would say
April, maybe.
My channel came in effect around March 24th of last year. I did my first show on April 4th. I started exploring, checking out other channels. I think DJ Cube was one of the first two that I came into, besides the Xenomix crew.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I met Mary saw Mary and a few other people on Cube's channel. And when he asked her to mod, it was a no-brainer to have her. And I didn't know what a mod was either. I didn't even know what a VIP was. I just saw them in the thing. I'm like, you're a VIP, you're a VIP, you're a mod. And there are mods everywhere, but not realizing that. And each mod, obviously, it is technically a job. It is. Oh, hold on, who's calling me?
That was me.
My brother.
Nice.
Sorry.
Sorry. That was Eli Katz.
Should also be here.
No. I'll call him in a second. Sorry. So yeah, once I got to see what obviously a mod does, it was a no-brainer to have Mary and Marie to be a mod in the channel, because they're so, when people come to the channel, they're the first people that you would see or hear from, basically. In the channel, and they're just it was perfect job for them. It still is.
Thank you.
That's it? You got nothing else? That's it? I'm just kidding.
Well, I didn't say a lot, but we only got Mary's only here for another 15 minutes, and again, I'm assuming people have tons of questions for her.
Yeah, she's gonna hang for sure. So now, Mary, I'm gonna ask the same question again. Who's your favorite DJ on Twitch? Wait. Let me
I am not. You know what? That's like asking which child you love the best. You just
dude, my 12-year-old, hands down. My 12-year-old. I don't care. I put it out there.
That's wrong.
I can answer for Mary. No, but honestly, there's a few great DJs on there that I'm happy that I was introduced to Cube. I wish he can come on here. He is.
I know. Yeah, he's great.
He's a great DJ. He doesn't have to speak. Doesn't say a word on the microphone. Just plays songs back to back to back. And I would love to do that too, but people want to hear I treat my show a little bit differently. But at the original, I did try to be the same, where I would just play my favorite hits in the 80s and stuff in the background. Honestly, I wanted to do non-video because there's so much music that I have that is non-video, but it's you don't want to do the same dancing crowd, people dancing in that Metro Club doing the same thing. It's all done for a year straight now, so we're all looking for something different. But I'd say Cube. I'd have to answer for her. I'd say Cube's up there. Cube and
Raccoon is a good one. Yeah, I mean they're all good. I can't honestly. I listen and I actually have a lot of favorite channels that I don't mod for. I mean, there are channels that I go to on a regular basis. And I try not to miss if I can. I mean, it's harder now that I have mod duties, but there are channels I go to that I love. Like all the Chicago DJs, like Jeff Moyer, Jeff Pazin, that whole group.
There's an interesting question. Is there anybody that you wish you modded for that you don't?
No. I mean, because I can still go to all the channels. It's when you become a mod. I think sometimes it changes. You have more of a I'm here to work kind of viewpoint. And so it's not as relaxing as, I do appreciate now when I can go to a channel and just hang. Like I'll have a whole day of just modding and I'll go to a channel and just lurk. And it's so nice to just sit there and just not chat and just listen to the music. So I do appreciate that. So I don't really long to be a mod anymore in channels. I just, if I'm a mod, I'm doing my job. I'm still enjoying the music and I'm loving it, but it is nice to be able to go to channels and just, chill and just listen and, so yeah, I still try to go to all the channels I went to before, when I was just a viewer in all those channels. I just don't have as much time to do that. And so I appreciate it a lot more now.
I figured it out. I think I asked those questions incorrectly. What I should have said was, "Who's your favorite Canadian?"
Brother, do you know how many Canadian DJs I'm on for?
Doesn't matter. Just narrow it down to the
also
three.
go to Canadian.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna point down. Yeah, we're all pointing to.
Well, when you get a birthday cake sent to you from
me?
California, you know, it does show.
I didn't know we could send gifts to like bribe the moderators. I would have done that.
No, it's all good.
Hey,
Yes,
I've gotten boxes of Tim Tams from Australia, so you guys are kind of lagging over there.
Oh, way to go!
Oh, you know, we should Staples. There's a drink that. Oh, I'm not even going to go there. There's a Australia drink that I'd love to get my hands on, but we're not.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
going to leave.
And look, I even have Vegemite. I've gotten Vegemite packs.
That's fantastic.
So I am now a wannabe Australian.
I'm gonna send you packets of Swiss chalet sauce.
I'm sending you a box of Timbits.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, I have to like send her some Timbits.
Those donut hole things.
Yeah.
Those donut hole things. Yes.
Yeah.
For those
We know that Disco Vinny loves the donut hole things. He's actually going to send you a Starbucks card, Mary, he said.
Oh, that's nice. That's really nice of you. And I have gotten, actually, Bractoon and Simpsy, they were really generous. They sent me a Christmas gift, a card, and then I just did a 12-hour stream with Bractoon, and they sent me another gift card. I mean, they were really sweet, so generous. I just was really surprised by that. So I have to say, I mean, everyone I mod for has been so kind and just really friendly. I mean, I feel like I have so many new friends now. I just can't wait to actually meet so many people in person. Just really, it's been really great.
Dan and Tom, have you sent Mary any gift cards?
I haven't. What I've been planning on doing is waiting for my merchandise to become available, and I have like the shirts and the sweaters, and I'll send her a whole package like that.
Oh, you don't have to do that. I'll use my points. I have lots of points.
That's okay.
All I can say, something's in the works.
Oh, there you go.
That's all I'm saying.
I didn't want to put pressure on you guys, but I'm planning on having a third child, and you can have her, Mary. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
You get my third child.
That's quite an honor.
Wasn't like one of the two I got. Remember, I got a favorite. No, I'm only kidding.
That's hilarious.
They're not even my kids, but I love them. Oh, good. So do you see, like, Mary, after the whole pandemic thing is over, do you see yourself still doing the Twitch thing?
I don't know. I mean, I think things are going to change a lot. I already see that happening, like with the Australian DJs. You know, Australia has opened up a lot, and they're doing a lot more live gigs. You know, a couple of DJs have dropped off already. I know schedules are changing. Like, I know also Kobe and Task, they're trying to do streaming and live gigs, but it's hard. They're getting so many live gigs. So I think things are going to change, to be honest. I mean, I hope people will still be on Twitch, but I think we'll all be returning to our pre-COVID lives in some fashion. And so I think things will change. Oh, look who's here, Glenn McBride.
Yeah. I was just trying to get Glenn's comment on the page.
Yeah, those Australians, those Aussies. So I think things will change. So I'm just trying to enjoy it while I can. That's why I'm immersed right now. You know, I don't have much else going on because I'm in California, which is still in almost complete lockdown. The rest of the world appears to be getting back to normal, and we're not. So I really don't have much else going on. So I'm just going to stay on Twitch as long as I can. Probably when school starts again, I will, you know, be back in classes, and that will change a lot. And of course, paddling has restarted. So I am going to be practicing more. We don't have a season yet, but I have been told by some of my coaches that probably in the summertime we will have some sort of six-man racing season. Well, that will change. I will definitely be involved with that. Okay. So we'll see. You know, it's hard to know how things are going to go and what DJs will stay. I really hope that a lot of the DJs do stay to some capacity because I won't see them otherwise. I mean, you know, you all who live in Canada, when would I ever see you? Even like Rice Cube, he's in Texas. of course, the Australians. I would never see most of you. The only one who's local is Bractoon. Of course, I will definitely be at his club once it opens up, and I'm going to be at his club every week, I think. But my DJ Dan is local. KGB is local. I think DJ Envy, she's local. Oh, and Miss Ninja, I'm excited to meet her in person. She's local.
Yeah, she's great.
So, yeah, I mean, it'll just depend. But I really hope a lot of you faraway DJs stay and, in some way, because that would be really sad to not see you guys anymore. But, we'll see.
I was going to ask you, or say to you, too, like, because of meeting you, you're the one that turned me on to the likes of DJ Glenn McBride. So I want to shout out to him because... And he's another person I'd like to get on here to chat one day because he's Time Magazine's Man of the Year or something.
Right.
And he says to ask him about it, so I want to ask him about it. But, so shout out to him out in Australia doing his thing. I am DJ Task, him another super nice guy out in Australia. I mean, really.
Oh, there are so many great Australian DJs. Not just Kobe and Task, but like Sierra was there. She's actually stopped now, but she's doing live gigs. But I used to go to her channel a lot. I love DJ Scruffo. Oh, he's great. And then there's DJ Scotty Mac. And the other group that I love are the UK DJs. Mark Oxford, Andy One DJ.
Alexa.
DJ Dan.
Sorry.
What?
Yeah, what about the viewer count there? How did that viewer count just jump up?
What is it? Are there really 150 people here?
No. Really?
That can't be.
I think that's someone playing with.
No, it's 49.
It's probably the bots that follow Retro Mix.
Yeah, when I came on, they all jumped on. They're like, Tom's on. Let's go.
They're all Commander Root.
No, Commander Root.
They're all feet.
And lurks.
Yeah. All right, now I see
the bot snatchers.
So I want to ask a question here before we close off. I just want to ask the last question. So Staples, just allow me that, but keep going with doing your thing.
Yeah, go for it.
No. When we're because keep asking. I'm just dusting off my keyboard here, making Mary nervous.
Oh, jeez.
This better be okay. This
is great.
The moment that Mary was concerned about.
I have been thrown under the bus by other DJs, so I'm used to it.
Oh, so I could ask my question, but
go for it.
No. Everything's
This DJ knows who. Because I'm actually part of another Zoom, a regular weekly Zoom group with Australian and UK DJs. So that happens like at 2:00 in the morning on Wednesdays or something. So, yeah.
Is that 2:00 your time?
Yes.
So East Coast, that's what, 5 a.m.?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Wow. And shout out to the Brazilian DJs as well, Eduardo.
Yes, Eduardo and Rodsboro.
Yeah, Rodsboro.
Yes, I love you guys. Hey, Eduardo. Hey, Rodsboro. Yeah, they're great.
So Staples, do you have your in the chat? I know you're on StreamYards. You can type in the chat there, but you can't get your remotes. Do you also have your Twitch open?
I do.
All right. So here's the question, and this is going to be a perfect segue into Sam Nation. It's going to be
good. Yay, Sam's turn.
I want you to post right now, Staples, if you could, and I'm going to put in the chat mine. Here are my Mary emotes.
Okay.
And if you can post your Mary emotes.
Yep.
As well. So I thought maybe it would be fun, and I don't know, Staples, if you can do this. Can you start a poll?
Oh, no.
Start a what?
A poll.
A poll?
Oh, you know me. I don't want to say it the wrong way, but yes, I can start a poll.
Okay, that's amazing.
So, be careful how you word that.
We have the two emotes there, and I thought if you start a poll and just ask them which emote they like better.
Okay.
If they like DJ Staples or if they like Impressions DJ's emote. So let's show those Mary emotes again. Let's keep those going here.
Doing it as we speak.
I know. Oh, I got a Euro emote in there by mistake.
Of course.
I know more people have your emote because yours is a tier and
Well,
mine is not.
And you made yours a tier 2. So, can I tell you how many complaints I've gotten, Dan, from people who
There you go, Dan.
said, what happened to my emote? It's gone. And they have to go to tier 2.
It's so hard, and that's what I'm telling you. When we talk with Sam, I want to talk about that. But it's so hard to come up with which emotes you want to have on there and which ones you don't. Now, hold on. Flag on the plate. Flag on the plate. Did I just see Eduardo with a Mary emote as well?
What? No. Let me see.
Yeah,
the Mary Tupac?
Disco Vinny's got the Mary emote with the.
No.
with the
No.
Tupac.
Look at Eduardo.
Oh, there is a new one. Eduardo.
Look at this one.
What? He just did that right now.
So we didn't
That's
have the poll,
crazy.
but the poll is up there. So
Eduardo.
whose emote do you like better? Because just saying this, if I lose this, I'm retiring your Mary emote. No, I won't.
No,
never.
don't do that.
But let's put you on the spot. Mary, which is your favorite emote?
I am not saying. Why do you ask me that? I'm not answering any of those questions like that.
You gotta have a
I
favorite
like them
emote,
all.
Mary.
And I see now that Eduardo has a third, I like them all.
Yeah, Eduardo, when did you get this emote? When did that happen?
Oh, hacker! When he used all his points to boost impressions, went up right to the top.
Way to go, Hacker. You know what?
He used 4,600 channel points.
I'm just gonna have to ban him from my chat. That's all. Whatever.
Oh my gosh.
I try to be lenient with Hacker with his bad jokes.
Hacker, you're the man. Thank you.
Yeah, you know what, Hacker? I'm gonna be nice. I'm still gonna ban him.
Hey, Staples.
Yeah.
Before Dan asked the question, I thought you asked Mary earlier when she was on a Zoom call. She was on mine. Remember on Saturday nights?
Yeah.
We did back in the day.
Right.
I was thinking the first one you're on. That I know.
That is true. I was telling you, for the longest time, remember, everyone kept trying to get me on the Zoom, and I was like, no. I was really shy. I had no idea what Zoom was or anything. And then one time I just agreed to go in, and I was there. I chatted for a bit. I probably was only there for about 10 minutes.
Yeah, Hacker was there. Dan was there. I think Anne Marie and a few other people.
Yeah.
And if I can too, I want to give Anne Marie a shout out as well because she mods for me as well, and she's a very busy person with her job, and I know she gets piled up with paperwork, but yeah, she jumps on every now and then. I know she mods for you, Tom, as well. So I'd like to give Anne Marie a nice little shout out as well. So thank you, Anne Marie, for being there. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Weber's Burgers. Next time we go up there, we're gonna see her.
Weber's Burgers. Wow, I can go for that.
I don't think I've ever had Weber's Burgers. Are we going Canadian right now?
Yeah, it's north. It's just before you hit cottage country. I went up last year.
Hey, Scrappo's here too.
For our wedding anniversary, and we met Anne-Marie there.
Very nice.
She treated us.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
Even better.
It's a given when you go to Muskoka. You got to go there to get a burger.
I'll make a note of that the next time I go up there.
Yeah, it's only about an hour and a half, about an hour and 45 minutes to go north on Yonge Street, right up Highway 11.
Right up there.
You got that, Mary? You got to go to Weber's Burgers now.
Yeah, just like you guys need to come here. Everybody needs to come to LA. And
wait. I want to ask you an important question, Mary. And Sam, you can answer this too. Sam, you're in California as well, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Burger question. So in the Toronto area, right, in the Scarborough area specifically, there's a place called Johnny's Burgers, which is one of the greatest hamburgers you're ever going to find, I think, right? Impressions, are you with me?
Yep.
Right? Okay, guy. And then we got Harvey's, which I love. Some Canadians, maybe Tom, Harvey's. Yeah. All right.
Johnny's Burgers has gotten worse.
What's that, Tom?
Sorry, interrupt. Johnny Burgers has gotten worse.
Oh, yeah, as time gone. Yeah, I get it.
It's still good. But they changed something. I think it was the buns or something. It's not the same anymore.
Okay. But now that I lived in the States for as long as I have, I discovered Sonic Burger. Not bad, right? It's okay. But what is this? And here we go. In-N-Out Burger. Is it the best burger you're ever going to have?
No.
No?
It's good. It's
Pearl
good.
says no.
I like it.
I mean, it's good. There's no doubt. It's. I think it's been hyped up a lot. So I think when people come, they often are disappointed because it's been hyped up so much. But it's. I mean, it's great. There's no doubt about it. I love In-N-Out Burger.
So what would Staples? You live now in the States. You were Canadian. You were from Canada here originally. What would you say is comparable so that the Americans know what Harvey's is? What's comparable to Harvey's?
White Castle.
No, come on.
No, White Castle's its own little entity. White Castle will kill your insides. No, I'm serious. And right, Sam and Mary, am I wrong? White Castle, it's the best bad idea at 2 a.m. you're ever gonna make, right?
I've never had White Castle. I don't know, Sam. Do you go to White Castle? Is there a White Castle here?
I haven't seen one, but we had them in Chicago.
Yeah, I think those are like a Midwest kind of thing, or on the East Coast. They don't have White Castle here, but we have Tommy's Burgers, which are, people will go to that at 4 a.m, and apparently those are pretty rough.
The next day you're like, oh, that was a bad decision.
Hero Burgers are good.
Which ones?
Hero Burgers?
I don't
They're
know.
Hero.
Burgers might be before he was.
Yeah, they're really, really good. They're expensive, but they're good.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe when I come up, you guys can take me to Hero Burger.
Burger Talk.
Yeah, Tommy's.
Yeah, Burger Talk with Mary and Sam, just what everybody wants to do.
I know, right?
Experts in the field.
Yeah, that's
Getting
right.
their opinion.
So,
Sam, what's your favorite burger of choice?
who's that? Me or Sam? Did you say? Sam.
Sam.
Yeah.
I like Jack in the Box actually.
Oh God, Sam.
That's a good equivalent, Dan. If you take Jack in the Box in the U.S. to Harvey's, it's
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Harvey.
Sam.
But
Ebola in the box. Yeah, that's what Disco Vinny said. Yeah. I would never go to Jack in the Box personally, but hey.
all right.
yeah, I'm not the foodie in my group, so don't ask me.
Wow.
So my question I was going to ask is the question of what is, because I know a lot of people know you for having so many emotes. What is your favorite emote that you have or that you like to have, or what would you say is your favorite emote?
My favorite emote?
I think right now my favorite emote is the Totoro emote. When I saw that someone had Totoro, I went nuts and just immediately subbed, like just for that Totoro. So that for me was the highlight.
What's the Totoro emote?
Totoro is that little creature. I will put it in the chat. It's the little creature.
In the chat.
It's it's in the movies. Those Japanese anime movies. So let's see. Here's Totoro right there. He just did a little high there. See that guy?
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
It's a series of movies. Who's the director? Does somebody know? I can't think. I'm drawing a blank. There's a bunch of Japanese. Yeah.
Pearl knows. She knows.
Yeah, I mean Totoro is the best out of all those movies.
Yes,
I love Totoro.
And then the cat bus.
Yes, it's the cat bus. That was great. It's a great movie. I mean, and they're all animated, and there are a bunch of different movies. And Disney brought them over from Japan and dubbed them in English. I just can't remember what they're all called. They're called something, and I can't remember what they are right now. But anyway, when I saw that someone had a Totoro emote, I just went nuts and just got it. So that's gonna be I'm keeping that sub if nothing else. So.
Yeah, that's the best.
Who wants to do a poll where you can have her on the screen and not me?
Why?
Pearl.
It's nice
No
to
poll
see you,
needed.
Pearl.
No
There
poll
you go.
needed.
Everyone just raise a hand.
I know. We don't even need to put a poll
I'm
out.
so tired of hearing
So that leads me to a question for you, Sam.
Disco Vinny.
Sam, did you create that emote by chance? What is it, Totoro?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay. So what came first, Sam? The graphic designing or the DJing?
I'll see that back here.
Just leave it in the middle so you guys can lean in.
Definitely the graphic design. So I'll put a little disclaimer that I'm not a DJ in the sense that you guys are. I don't it's not something I made a living at ever.
Neither have either one of us, so don't feel bad.
It's just something I did for fun because I always wanted there to be a club night that played only Prince music. And so what I did is I just went out and I made it happen. And other people were into it, and it lasted for about 13 years. So that was the extent of my DJ career. I was never a wedding DJ or anything like that. It was really just that. And the graphic design thing is what I went to college for, and that's been my career. And that's what I've been doing for 20 some years.
Okay. And then, so there's a love for design, obviously, a love for music.
Doing something.
I want to start at the beginning, I guess. I don't want to go too far back, but how did you get involved with Twitch? How did that start for you?
Well, it started with DJ Dave Paul. So he does a Prince Michael Jackson night. You know, one of the nights that he tours the country with. And I was living in Seattle, and he would come to Seattle, and there really isn't anything to do in Seattle, so I would go to his nights all the time.
Wait, Disco Vinny's on here, isn't he in Seattle? But no,
yeah, I didn't go to where I never knew he was DJing in Seattle, so I didn't know him back then. But personally, for me, there wasn't much to do. But
yeah,
like it doesn't get the same amount of concerts and things that other places get. So I would go to DJ Dave Paul's night a lot, his Prince night, and so I met him. I probably went 4 or 5 times when I was in Seattle, and we're friends on Facebook. And so he started posting like these 80s Twitch things that he was doing. So I just started out like lurking. I think this was back in like August maybe. So I was kind of late to it, but I would just kind of lurk and have it on in the background. Then I started getting more comfortable like chatting, and then I subbed and figured out what that was. And then I found other Prince fans online, and they've got their own little nights that they do. I started getting involved in those too. So that's how it started.
And is it you that has that mask? The LED mask?
Yeah. It's this mask.
Yeah. Where'd you get that?
Well, where do you get anything in this day and age? You get it on Amazon.
Amazon? Okay.
Yeah.
Because for those that don't know, like you're on, you go on a Zoom. Was it Bracktune Zoom?
Yeah, mostly Bracktune, yeah.
And you have this mask. So he's got an LED mask, everybody. And it's cool because whatever artist Bracktune might be playing, the face of that artist shows up on the mask. Am I correct?
See that? Really? I don't know.
Yeah. So like there's Bono.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's amazing. That is crazy.
So yeah, it's fun. It's like wearing emotes on your face.
Yeah.
So then,
does Victor have that? Does Victor have that or no?
I'm sure he's gonna add it to his repertoire.
Yeah.
He'll probably have it tonight.
Yeah, probably. He'll probably have 5 of them in different colors.
And I just want. I just got to ask the question: like, how do you type something in, or is it already in there saved? The face of whoever.
Yeah. So there's an iPhone app that goes with it. So you do everything through the iPhone app.
Nice.
So I just hit a button. I can change faces, and so like Bracktune is also another one of those channels that I first got into. Like I don't know how I found it. I think I just clicked on it one day, and they were doing this Zoom thing on the screen, and this was probably back in October or November. And I thought, oh, that looks fun. So I would get on, and I didn't have masks or anything. I would just kind of like wear stupid outfits, and it just seemed like something fun to do. And then that eventually evolved into this mask thing, which I've been doing now.
I think it's great. It's very like, I mean, Victor's masks are great, and that mask it stands out like his mask. You know what I mean? It's like I remember Bracktune was playing a David Bowie song, I think, and you had the David Bowie face with the lightning, Ziggy Stardust. I'm like, that is like, how do you even do that?
Right.
Well, I'm glad it's like now I know the curtain, what's behind the curtain, so to speak.
Exactly. Mystery ruined.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. So let me ask you, the graphic designing, how did that start for you, and how did you end up designing the Prince? Was it 3121 box set?
It was a one night loan box set, but yeah, I worked for Prince for a total of about 9 years.
Wow.
How does a guy get into that? How does that start?
Well, I got into internet design in the 90s in college, back when it was becoming a commercial thing, right? And so Prince, being the kind of rebel artist that he was at the time, he was very anti-record label. He was very anti-corporate, whatever.
Mhm.
And he saw the internet as an opportunity for him to connect directly with his audience and sell his music directly with his audience. So I was a young guy. I was a huge Prince fan, and I was getting into internet stuff. And I started connecting with other Prince fans around the country and that community online. And Prince decided that he wanted to get some fans involved in building his next website. So I got involved in that. And eventually it kind of became clear that I was the only one that was actually doing it professionally. So he kind of pulled me aside and said, look, I got some bigger ideas. Can you help me with it? And that led to us developing an online music club. And then eventually from there, my responsibilities just kind of grew and grew. And I started doing all of his creative design, his graphic design. I did 3 of his major label records in the 2000s. And I did the One Night Alone box set, which was a live box set. And then we re-released it about a year ago. Sony came back to me and said, well, hey, you did the original. You want to repackage it for, we're going to re-release the thing. And I said, yeah. So I got to work on a Prince project last year. And that was a lot of fun too.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
Wow.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So, stupid question, right? Does Prince call you up directly and go, hey, Sam, it's Prince? Or it's obviously his people, right?
No, we had a very direct relationship. So it was really just me and him kind of doing everything, which was great. So he would call me up sometimes.
Wow.
And
You ever not take his call? Like, come on, not right now, Prince. I'm in the middle of. Or do you always take his call?
it's kind of like when you work for him, it's kind of like being a doctor on call. Like, you got to be available when he is, because he's the kind of guy that doesn't work on a regular schedule. He's like whenever the muse hits, right? So he's just going to work no matter what time of day it is. And so yeah, if he's calling at 3 a.m, like, there's a reason. So pick up.
Do you have a custom ringtone?
I was going to highlight that one.
Yeah, right. Was it like a
Or
Michael
ringtone?
Jackson song just to mess with him?
No, I didn't have any special ringtone for him. I think it was just like something really loud, so I would definitely hear it.
Oh my god!
He used to live in Toronto during a brief time.
Yeah, I went to that house actually.
In the Bridal Path.
Bridal Path, yeah.
Oh wow!
Go ahead.
Sam, so do you mind if can we share your website?
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, like he was touring on the musicology tour, and he played at the big stadium up there, whatever it was. And I went up to the show. My family went with me. We saw the show. He invited us all back to the Bridal Path house and hung out. I think Nelly Furtado opened for him, I think, at one of the shows, and she was there.
That house is still for sale, I think. I'm not sure if it got sold. They were trying to sell it for many years.
Yeah, it could be.
You should make an offer, Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need another half a billion bits, and I'll be good.
You know what?
Yeah, put those bits.
We got to get you a nice hype train next, for the next while, so you can get that, make an offer on the Prince house on the Bridal Path there.
Yeah.
So is it true with the stories? Like, I used to watch Charlie Murphy when he was on. He'd talk about Prince. I would hear stories about, like, literally the guy would want something like a giraffe at 3 a.m. You're his handlers. You got to go find a giraffe at 3 a.m. It's just anything like that you know of.
Yeah, it was interesting because I hear that a lot. The whole thing of like, oh, get a camel at 3 a.m, et cetera, et cetera. And I think the meaning behind that story isn't really so much about a camel at 3 a.m. It's really more about possibility and what can you make happen. And I always took from that, like, Prince was the kind of guy that, you didn't just say no. Like, what do you mean no? Did you actually try? And it's like, no, I didn't try to get a camel at 3 a.m. And like, well, what happens if you try? Like, at least you can make something happen. See what happens. Like, just do it. Just like go find out what possibilities there are. And maybe there isn't a camel at 3 a.m, but maybe you get in touch with somebody who's got a llama, or maybe like, you can arrange something at 6 a.m, or, like, there's things that can happen. You just don't say no just right out the gate. And so that's kind of how Prince was. He was that kind of guy who's like, well, let's just try. Let's just see what happens. And I think that's part of the reason why he gave me a chance. I hadn't done albums before. I hadn't done, online music clubs before. But he's like, well, let's see what happens. Let's try it. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But we'll at least try.
Yeah, I got to see him in concert. I was so happy that I actually got to see a Prince concert before he passed. And he did play at a club. He came in. The rumor was that he was coming. People waited hours. He came out, I think, 1 or 2 in the morning. He showed up on King Street here in downtown Toronto. He played for a couple hours, supposedly. I had a chance to maybe go to that show, but I just said no at the time. But now I regret it. I hate to ask this to you. Do you remember where you were when you found out when he passed?
Yeah, definitely. I was working at Microsoft in Seattle, and I was a UX designer for them. That's a easy transition going from Rockstars to Microsoft, right? So I was doing that. But I think in Seattle, you're required to work for Microsoft at some point. So I just, I was there and they drafted me, I guess. But I was on my way to work and I started getting texts, because I was still very connected to the Prince community and had a lot of friends that are still huge Prince fans. So I started getting texts and, I think it happens a lot where somebody says someone died. It's like, no, you didn't die. Like they're just making that up. But like I kept getting more and more texts. And so I got to work and I'm checking the news and I just said, oh, I just got to go home. And I just left. And I think everyone who I worked with understood because they all knew my history, of course. And I just said, I just got to not be here, not be at work. And I just went home and I just kind of sat on Facebook for about 3 days, just talking with people and kind of commiserating and sharing and connecting with people I hadn't seen in 10 years. And, really one of the silver linings, I think, to him passing is that it really brought the community together in a really strong way. And I connected with so many people I hadn't talked to in so long. And since then have met people and participated in all kinds of events that I probably never would have if he was still around. So that's been the one bright side to that. But yeah, it was a pretty devastating period of time for sure.
So you've worked with other artists as well. Like I see here on your page, you have Pearl Jam. So it wasn't just Prince that you worked with. You've had other collaborations as well. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. So after Prince, I went
also, let me know where to click on if there's anywhere specific you want me to click, just let me know.
Okay. Yeah. So after Prince, that's what brought me to Seattle, was to go work with Pearl Jam. They needed somebody to kind of update their web stuff and kind of do some graphic design for them. So I got involved with them and decided to move to Seattle. I'd never been there before. And they're like, well, we want you to be here. So I said, okay. So I went to Seattle and worked with them for about a couple years. And then that's how I got involved with Microsoft by being in Seattle. And like I said, they force you at some point to work for Microsoft or Amazon. But yeah, and I've kind of done one-off freelance projects for a lot of people. Right now, I'm doing freelance work for Avril Lavigne, another Canadian. And that's been a lot of fun, kind of getting back into music and stuff like that. But yeah, a lot of interesting projects over the years for sure.
Yeah, I personally got to thank you for the emojis you've done for my channel. They're amazing. I know there's so many different emojis that we could all put on our sites. I like what I have. I eventually will. Hopefully, I'm not looking to make partner or anything. That's not my goal here. I'm hoping I'll be able to put more emojis up on my thing. But the list you sent me, introduced to you, and obviously you're just saying, hey, whatever you need, no charge. Just tell me, and I'd send you some artwork, and within like an hour or two, you'd be like, here you go, and I'd be like, wow. So I want to thank you so much for that. I always mention you in my chats when I see you come in, but yeah, to see you in person here, I just wanted to appreciate and thank you again for everything you've done for our channel.
Oh, thanks. I'm glad. When I got on here, I was trying to think about how I could contribute to more than just a listener and bits and all that, and being a graphic designer, that I got interested in emotes. Mostly. It started with Bracktune, like he wanted an emote for Hot Pockets or something like that.
Hot Pockets, yeah. I missed that.
So I made him one. And and then I saw a lot of other emotes out there that I thought could be better. Like they were okay, but they could be better. So I thought, well, let me try it. And again, it's not something I do as a career, like making emotes. So like, I just want to give them away. I just want to contribute. I just want to like put them out there, and whoever wants to use them, great. And it's been a lot of fun. I've been really enjoying doing that.
And
I would like to tie in. Can I tie in real quick? Because, and I'll shut up. Go ahead after this. To tie into that, Tom and I become friends because of this, and we goof around and we tend to be silly. And one day on his channel, he got on the mic and he said, I should have we were talking about badges or something, right, Tom? And he said, oh, DJ Staples, do you have an asshole badge? So we spoke offline. I'm like, I got to do it. And of course, I reached out to you, Sam, and remember going back and forth. Like, don't know if this will go through Twitch, if they're going to approve it or not. But sure enough, they did. And so you created the a-hole badge for me, along with you did my Elvis badge as well. And again, just like Tom says, like, you don't ask for anything for it. So I do appreciate it, honestly and truly. So I did want to at least thank you in person.
Oh, great. Yeah. I'm glad. You're welcome, for sure.
And he's also done my emote as well, my jam emote, which I absolutely love. It's like, and I know
I love that one too.
My watchers, they love my jam emote, and it's it's absolutely fantastic. And I know one thing we've spoken before, Sam, and I've messaged over, and you said, whatever you want, just send this over to me, email me here, and let's work together on things. I haven't had a chance, to be honest, but it's just fantastic to know that there's people like you who want to do that, who are willing to take time for us. So we always appreciate that. Like, that's fantastic,
Great. Well, I'm happy to help.
Yeah,
Tom, what were you going to say before when I interrupted you? I'm sorry.
So how long have you looked like Leonard from Big Bang Theory?
I get that a lot, actually. I don't necessarily see it, but it's all the glasses.
It was bugging me for the whole show. I was like, he looks like, I'm like, yeah, that's it, Leonard.
I didn't start wearing glasses till about 10 years ago. And then as soon as I did, like, people kept saying that to me. I guess there are worse people to be connected to.
Oh, I've been mistaken for a lot of people. I won't mention now, but sometimes it's a story to tell you. But yeah, I'll fill you in sometime.
Yeah.
But the guy from Big Bang Theory never had got phone calls from Prince, I'm sure. So,
no,
there's always that.
That's right.
Did you DJ before a Prince show? Is that correct?
Yeah. So I did my club night in Chicago where I did all Prince music, and I did that on the last Sunday of every month at this club called Berlin in Chicago. And we had a pretty tight community. People would come every month, and it was great. It was great seeing everybody. And so I was working for Prince. He knew about the night. He was very supportive. He never actually came, which would have been awesome, but it never quite worked out where he was in town at the same time. Mm-hmm. But he was going to be playing a show at the Congress Theater in Chicago, and he had a regular DJ, this woman named DJ Rashida, who is, I think she's on Twitch also. She's great. But he didn't want to fly her out from LA for whatever reason. So he's like, well, you can do it, right? And I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. And so, like, I had a table up on the stage before he came out, and he's like, just play whatever you want to. And I played like kind of a mix of like Stevie Wonder and some of his songs, but I tried very, very specifically not to play songs I knew he was going to play because I didn't want the people to like hear him too much. So there was that. And then he said, like, when he's ready to come on, like, put on this one track from the soundtrack to Memoirs from a Geisha. And like, that's what he was going to come in on. So I kind of got the cue and I put that on and we moved the table over, and then I watched the show from the side of the stage, and it was a lot of fun.
How are your, like, I'm happy if I get a phone call from a regular everyday friend. Like, how do you feel when the Prince is like, yeah, just DJ for me? And like, do you get the adrenaline? Do you get excited, or it's just another day at the office kind of a thing?
It's funny. Like, I wish I had kind of paid more attention to things and taken more photographs and stuff, because I think when you're in it, it feels very normal. It does kind of feel like it's part of the job, or it's just part of the gig, or it's another event to do. But looking back, it was really a very special thing. So I do wish I had more photographs and things, and there wasn't social media in the same way that there is now. So I don't even have records of that. But yeah, like it was very special. I don't take it for granted. That's for sure.
Is he the most popular or largest celebrity name that you ever worked for, or have there been others?
I would say he was definitely the biggest one. I did one project for David Bowie, who's pretty up there, but we didn't really have any interaction. So I would say that Prince was definitely the biggest one. And just personally, he's my favorite artist. So working for him for that period of time, getting to know him, actually becoming friendly, having him know my family. I mean, all of that was, dream come true kind of stuff. So it was really a great experience.
Did you ever have him over for dinner? And if you did, what do you make Prince for dinner? Like, come on. What is he like?
He never came over for dinner. I ate dinner with him at his place a bunch of times. And, I was married and I had a young daughter with me at the time. And he was very into that I had a family. He really liked that. Like he was a Jehovah's Witness at the time. And so he was kind of very into family and he really liked that I had this family unit. We did stuff together. So he knew my daughter, he knew my wife, now ex-wife. And yeah, we were over for dinner at his place a lot. He took us out to restaurants a couple times where it was just the four of us.
Wow.
And yeah, he was a unique personality, but not weird, not strange. He was always polite, very nice.
He was a wisecracker too, right? Like he was. He liked practical jokes.
Yeah, if you get to know him pretty well, he'll be one of the funniest people you know. Like he's got a very dry sense of humor, very snarky kind of humor, which I appreciate. And there's this one, and yeah, the practical joke thing. There's one story I like to tell where we were actually at dinner at his house, and my daughter was there, and he was done. My daughter was done. She was getting a little squirmy. She was like 3, I think. And so Prince says, hey, you guys finish eating. I'm going to go show her the hair salon. There was a hair salon in the house, of course. And so we're like, okay. So it was just basically around the corner. So she goes off with him around the corner. We're talking with people eating. And then all of a sudden, out comes my daughter. And she has this wig on that is like literally head to toe hair. She looks like Cousin It. And she proceeds to run around the table multiple times, just kind of giggling. And we're all laughing at her, at this Cousin It running around. And Prince is over behind the corner, just laughing his ass off. Like, he obviously had put her up to it and said, here, go do this.
Are you sure it wasn't a Disco Vinny wig?
He would have been jealous, for sure.
Oh, my God. What's your if you had to, and it was, life or death situation, if you had to name one, your absolute favorite Prince song, what would it be?
Mountains, which is off the Parade album.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Sorry, which one?
Mountains.
Oh, Mountain. Oh,
which is off the Parade album. Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite. I've been asked that a couple times before, in case you couldn't tell.
Yeah, you had it ready. You had it ready to go. I saw Prince in Jersey a bunch of years ago at an old arena called the Brendan Byrne Arena where the Devils used to play. And I'll never forget, Morris Day in the Time actually opened up for them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was such a great show. And I remember it was with me and my two buddies. The arena was literally bouncing when Prince came out and did it. I mean, it was bouncing from the get-go with Morris Day, but when Prince came out, the place just erupted, right? The whole thing was bouncing, and I'll never forget, there was an African-American woman sitting next to me and my two friends by herself. And I'll never forget, Prince was singing, I Can Never Take the Place of Your Man, and she was yelling back, oh, yes, you can. And then she turns to me and my buddies, and she's like, everybody's always talking about Michael Jackson being the man. She goes, fuck Michael Jackson. Prince is the man. And I got to tell you, it was the greatest. She became like our best buddy for the rest of the show. It was, wow. It was just something to see him live. I'm fortunate to see him a couple times live, but that easily is probably, I've seen a lot of shows, Van Halen's, U2's, Squeeze. I've seen a ton of shows. hands down, that was my favorite show. I think because Morris Day and the Time opening up, just so great, you know, doing their whole thing, Jungle Love, The Burr, all that other stuff. Just constant movement, bouncing. Just there was nothing like it, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was in Vegas one year, and I saw a tribute band to Prince called Purple Rain. Have you seen them?
Oh yeah. I've seen
How
everything.
great are they? Right? It's REIGN, I think.
Right.
Purple Rain. And in their show, they incorporate Morris Day and the Time, the mirror and everything.
Right.
And I had a chance to speak to the guy that was Prince after. Super nice guy, but holy mackerel. Like, if you guys Google this band, I'm sure they got videos on YouTube and whatnot. Purple Rain. It's probably the best Prince tribute I think I've ever seen. I don't know what your thoughts on that, Sam, if you've seen them.
There's another guy named Julian who used to come to our parties in Chicago, he's really great, just has a lot of really great energy. You know, you go to the show and he plays all the instruments very well, and like you know, it doesn't feel like mimicry. It just feels like a really fun show. A lot of energy.
That's great. So good.
Do you have you must have made a few dozen or so Prince emotes?
Yeah.
Does anybody in the chat have any Prince emotes out there or anything? Or Sam?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Chris just put up the purple heart. Is that yours, Ted?
No, that's Twitch's.
That's
I think Twitch one, but close enough, right?
Yeah, bleed purple. I think that's the idea.
Yeah.
And isn't there a page where you have all of your emotes?
Yeah.
There's a separate page where he has, I don't know if anyone has that link handy, but he's got a ton of emotes just out there that are available to DJs, I think.
What is the page again?
So it's samjennings.com/emote, singular.
All right. I'm
Yeah,
going
it's
to
just
get it
kinda
now.
out
Put it
there.
up there.
I got it.
Every
Got
once
it?
in a while, I'll be out there in a stream somewhere, and I'll see one of my emotes, and I'm like, "Oh, who's got that?" And it'll be kind of a surprise.
What a great page here with these emotes. I mean, everything from Adam Ant to Beck and Britney Spears pre-conservativeship and the Clash. I mean, this is great.
Yeah, thanks.
And you allow
Yeah,
anyone to go and use these here, eh?
What's that?
And you allow anyone to go and use these?
Absolutely, yeah. Anybody.
That's
Is
fantastic.
there a fee to download these or no?
Ooh, Kenny
No,
Rogers.
no. No fee.
Sure.
I mean, you know, it's essentially recycled material anyway. I mean, I didn't, you know, actually take a picture of Rod Stewart, but
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, the idea is that I just really like people using them, and I like using them myself. So, like, the more people that use them, the more I get to use them.
Oh, Gizmo. He's so cute.
Yeah, the paradise of emotes.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Look, you got Olivia Newton-John in there, Mary.
I know. See, Disco Vinny used to have that Olivia Newton-John head. I loved that, but it's gone now.
Way to go, Disco Vinny.
Yeah, that was a sad day when that went away.
And so,
there's a
Sam,
baby
not to get too deep into COVID or politics, because that's not my thing, but are you working at least during this time?
You know, it's funny. I was working at an agency before COVID, and then once it started, we all started working from home. And working from home has actually worked out really great for me because I've been getting a lot of freelance work, and I'm able to juggle a bunch of different jobs all at once because I'm not in an office kind of chained to one particular thing. So I've got about 3 or 4 clients right now that I'm kind of just bouncing around from. And I keep getting referrals. So like the work doesn't seem to be ending anytime soon, which is great. So
That's great.
working from home has been really, really nice.
That's great. Good for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, favorite concert you've ever seen live?
Well, it would have to be Prince. One of the great things about working for him for as long as I do is I, of course, got to see him live. Probably, I don't know, 200, 300, 400, 500. I have no idea how often, but it was probably somewhere in the mid hundreds, like 500, something like that. But I think the best one I ever went to had to be the first one I went to. surprise, surprise, first time you see him live.
Yeah.
Pretty blown away. But I was a kid. I was only 19, and I'd gone to Minneapolis for the first time ever. And I just kind of went on a whim. I wasn't really there for any reason. And Prince did a surprise show at his club. He had a club called Glam Slam at the time. And he did the surprise show, like last minute announcement. It was going to be on January 6th, in the middle of winter. And it was 21 and over, and I'm 19. So I just said, well, you know what? I've never seen him. I'm in Minneapolis. It's got to be fate. I'm going to go down there. I'm going to see what I can do. I got $50 in my pocket, and I got my friend's fake ID. Let's make some magic happen. And sure enough, I found somebody who's willing to give me a ticket. So I went in and waited for hours and hours, kind of packed in. It was it was a club, so it's a small place. He's maybe like 10 feet away, and for a small club, he put on like a real show. It wasn't like an after show. There weren't any like 20-minute jazz jams. Like it was a real show, like with real songs, and he was debuting his new band at the time. And so I was really just kind of floored, kind of going back to what you were saying about this is a guy who is an amazing performer, and I got to see that over and over again. But just to see it for the first time and just realize, like, that's a real person. That's a real person in front of me doing all this. That's pretty amazing.
He also did a show for Saturday Night Live after, I think it was their 40th anniversary thing. And, I heard Jimmy Kimmel's side of it and how great that must have been. Was that something you were able to attend as his friend, or that just in New York? So,
that particular one, that was after my time, but I did go to the Saturday Night Live before that, where where Steve Martin was the host and he was the musical guest.
And he did an 8-minute set, right?
That was the other one. That was the later one that you're talking about, when Chris Rock hosted.
Oh, right.
So Steve Martin was the host, and he was gonna perform. And I was a huge Saturday Night Live fan, and he knew I liked Saturday Night Live, and he was a big Saturday Night Live fan. And like there were many times where I'd be at Paisley Park, his studio of Minneapolis, on a Saturday night, in the middle of the night, and like we'd take a break and we'd watch some Saturday Night Live. So he knew I was a big fan. I was in town anyway for something else, because he often flew me out to kind of work with him on whatever we were doing at the time. He liked to work directly, and he'd just kind of bring me wherever he was. So he let me go to the show. I got to be backstage. I got to watch the whole show from backstage with the cast, and got to meet a bunch of them, and went to the after party, and then went to Prince's after party, hit his own after party after the after party, and then went to the after party after that. Andy Sandberg and a bunch of people. So that was a really fun night. Like that's a night that's definitely up there in memories.
That's great. And I hope you don't mind me like bombarding you with all these Prince questions.
No, it's totally fine.
Did you ever play ping pong or basketball with him?
He was a very good basketball player. That was definitely the Charlie Murphy story was definitely true. Prince even said that to me, like, yeah, that's a true story, basically. But I never played basketball with him or ping pong, but I did play pool with him one time. We were staying at his house in LA here. It was up in Bel Air, I think, somewhere. And he had a pool table with a big symbol on it, of course, because that's what you do.
Yeah.
And he said, everybody's staying at the house. We're all going to go get pool cues. So he drove us to, I don't know where we went, but someplace that had like 1 million pool cues. And he said, everybody pick one out. So I picked one out. We go back to the house. We start playing. He realizes that he's way better than me. And he said, I don't need to play. You play the girls. And he had me play some of the women who were in his band instead.
Ouch.
Do you tell Prince, like, go screw yourself? I'm not playing against him. I want to play against him. Did you ever conflict with Prince, though? Like, I know it was all business, and obviously you built a relationship, but like, honestly speaking, like, were there ever times where you guys had a conflict of opinion, and do you know what I mean? Like, did that ever come about? Like, how would that kind of interaction work with him? Was it like, well, I'm Prince, and what I say goes, like, all right, that's cool. I'm not going to fight you.
In general, it was his way or the highway in general, but he would listen to me, especially like as we built a better relationship over time. I know there was one time early on where we had some technical problems with the website, remember back in the early days when like websites would crash all the time because like a million people would show up and it'd crash and whatever. And it's
Like a
something
retro mix show at noon every day. Sure.
Wow.
So
that wasn't me.
Yeah, at least we get the numbers.
Yeah. That happened one time, and he kind of said something sort of rude to me, even though it wasn't my fault. And so I called him out on it. I said, you know what, that's not called for. Like, it wasn't me. That it wasn't anything I did. And I think he actually felt bad because he sent my family and I on a vacation to Hawaii after that.
Oh, really?
Wow.
You need a break.
Wow.
Like, where do you want to go? And I said, well, how about Hawaii? And he's like, okay, go for a week and just don't log on to the computer. So that was one time where it worked out to my advantage.
Sure.
Another time, though, towards the end, he kind of got very litigious towards his fans. Like, he got very kind of uptight about fans having his picture on their websites and stuff like that. And I really didn't agree with him on that. I thought it was a bad idea. Like, we don't want to create bad blood with the fans. Like, it's his music. I can understand. Like, he doesn't want people to bootleg his music, but images, is it worth like creating enemies for? I don't think so. So we did disagree on that, but ultimately he will get his way.
Was that why he refused to have like? I love Prince, one of my favorite artists, and it was sad to see him pass away. But the upside was go on YouTube and all his stuff was available now. Was that a big part of it for him? Like, he knew that you could bootleg his stuff off of YouTube or wherever, and so he wasn't big on putting his music out there like that?
I think for him, a lot of it was, okay, so if I put it up on YouTube, then that means Google's getting a check for my work. And why should I make money for them? I think for him, it was about like, well, yeah, okay, so people can access it, but then it's just all money that's going to Google. And it's not really worth it for him. I think that was his perspective on it. Towards the end, he released some of his material through Tidal, and I think he felt that because Tidal was in some way owned by Jay-Z, like he felt that was a little more like an artist-owned business, so he felt a little more comfortable with that. But I think in general, he just saw Google and Apple as just another parts of the record label industry that were taking a lion's share of the profit. He just didn't want to be a part of it.
Yeah, I remember that whole period where he didn't want to be called Prince, and he had slave written across his face and all that kind of stuff. So props to him, right? Like, he was always very true to the word, or true to his word, right? If he stood for something and he carried it on for as long as he was out there.
Well, yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I mean, that was a big part of the whole time that I worked for him. Was just being that independent artist that kind of did things his own way, and that led to a lot of innovation.
Yeah. I was going to ask you a question, but I as I get older, I forget stuff, so I forgot the question I was going to ask you next.
Did I ever try his shoes on?
Prince goes and changes his name to a symbol. What do you call him then? Like, hey, how you doing, symbol? Like, what's?
Yeah.
Well,
or did people always say, "Hey, how's it going?" The artist formerly known as Prince.
Or
a lot of people that worked for him call him dude or boss. So say stuff like that. You play the pronoun game, he, him. If you think about it, you don't actually call people by their name that often. And so it didn't really come up. It's not like I was yelling down the hall. Like,
Guy, I have no idea. Guy, I have no idea what you're talking about, Guy.
Yeah, just the guy there, right?
Guy.
Did he? I'm going to ask a really dumb. This is a Victor Dancer question. Did he really work part-time at a Five and Dime? You could just block me. I'm going to just block myself. I'm sorry.
Why? Just why? Why do you need to do that?
What's your boss, Mr. McGee?
It was so professional until then.
I had a record contract right out of high school. I don't think he did.
I hope DJ Bueller's watching this. Oh, man. That was a silly question. I apologize.
How about this question from Disco Vinny?
Ever want to change my name to a symbol? No. I'm good with it.
Henry Hefe laughed at my joke in the chat, so thanks.
Henry.
He's clearly overtired.
Henry's very nice.
What would you say? What non-Prince artist would be? What would be your next favorite artist next to Prince, Sam?
Definitely Nine Inch Nails.
Really?
Like they're right up there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I always wanted to work for them, but never got the opportunity. Mostly because Trent Reznor had a really great guy named Rob Sheridan, who was his art director for a long time, who kind of did everything that I did for Prince. So he had his Sam already, so he didn't need me. But I did actually meet Trent Reznor one time, and it was at Prince's house. Prince used to have these big celebrity parties out in LA, and he'd rent these big mansions. And so you never know who was going to show up. And Prince and Trent Reznor had an agent in common at the time. So this agent brought Trent to the party. And Prince always performed at these things. So I think it was really more to see him perform. And so, there were a lot of celebrities at these things, but I never got starstruck. I never wanted to really bug people. But that was the one guy who I'm like, I got to go talk to him. I got to go say hello. So I went out and I totally like fanboyed out. I'm like, oh, I love your music and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It was worth it.
Was he nice to you at least?
Oh yeah, he was great. He was
Okay.
great. Yeah.
So, we had talked about last week in a lot of the DJs that were on here, we talked about like, some of our celebrity gigs, most famous people we've worked for. Other than Prince, what other celebrities have you done work for? Like, would you say that are up there almost?
Well, I mentioned doing that project for David Bowie.
Yes.
Pearl Jam's an interesting band because they're obviously not mainstream as they were 20 years ago, but they've got a really solid core audience. Like there's people who are really dedicated to them. And so working with them was really interesting. And they've got a really tight group of people running behind the scenes, that whole operation. So it was really impressive to be a part of that and see how they all work together. And it was like a well-oiled machine at that point. And that was really great to be a part of that. Those were really the main artists that I got to work for. Everybody else was just kind of one-off projects. And, I'm just starting the Avril thing, so I haven't done too much with her yet, but hopefully that'll keep progressing and we'll do more and more with her.
And do you have a direct connection with her like you did with Prince, or is it her people kind of a thing?
I got recommended for that one.
Oh, nice.
It was a thing where I was doing work with a streaming company, and they were going to do an Avril project. And so they said, well, you need to have this guy, because they really didn't have anybody on their end who could do web stuff. So they're like, you really need this guy to kind of handle it on your end. So they brought me in. They really liked me. They liked working with me. They're like, well, you should just do all of our web stuff and do our social media. And I'm like, okay, let's go. And so that's how that happened. And it's really just been a lot of referrals. Like, it's kind of cliche, like the people, networking and all that, but it's true. Like that's really what's gotten me in the door with a lot of places.
Yeah.
And no, I'm not a skater boy.
Only Disco Vinny would ask a question as bad as I would.
Not a skater boy.
That's hilarious.
We're gonna have to ban.
Although now I live in California, I think I should pick it up.
What's that? Sorry.
Now that I'm in California, maybe I should pick it up. I think now's a good age to pick up skateboarding, right?
Yeah. You're never too old to start skating. It's all good.
Ah.
All right. So
Never
we all
broken a
have
bone.
the favorites. I'm sorry.
Never broken a bone, so there's always hope.
And Disco Vinny says he's been banned from better. I'm sure. We had talked. Obviously you're a big music fan, and Mary, I know you're a big music fan, and we had spoken. I always like to ask, because we all have these songs that we love, but I also like to find out what song do you absolutely hate and hope you never have to hear again. Now, if it's conflicting with any work you've done, obviously I don't expect you to say anything, but if you can, either one of you, throw out a song that you absolutely can't stand.
Well,
and why, if you can, as well.
Well, I will say, kind of going back to what Mary was talking about. She said she hadn't heard songs in 30 years and stuff like that. And there's songs I hadn't heard in 30 years, but now in the span of about 6 months, I've probably heard like 250 times.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah, right.
So there are a couple of those.
We played those songs, yeah.
A couple of those songs I probably don't ever need to hear again, but they're not bad necessarily. But
you're right. You just It's like you don't hear it. It's like anything, right? It's like feast or famine. You don't hear it forever, and then all of a sudden, for the next 6 months, yeah. There's yacht rock, of course. What about you, Mary?
I've hated it from the beginning. The "Shut Up and Dance with Me." Ugh.
Oh, really? Okay.
I can't stand that song. It's just from the very beginning. As soon as it was on, it was on all the time. I just hated it. And pretty much any country song that's not one of the two that I like.
What are the two that you like?
Yeah.
Huh? The two
What
that I
are the
like.
two you like?
Well, they're not really that country. So, the Fighter, Keith Urban, and what's her name?
I
don't even know her
that
name.
one.
And then the Lady Antebellum, who is now Lady A.
Oh.
Need You Now.
That's a good one.
That was pretty mainstream. That's pretty much it. Everything else.
No Garth Brooks? No.
Well, Anne Marie mentioned the Cocktail Waitress song, and I'll be honest, the first time I ever heard that version was watching Retro Mix. When I first started hanging out on Twitch, I'm like, this is great. And then I heard it again the next day, and then I heard from somebody else, I think, the day after that. So that song is an interesting one, to say the least. I mean, look, some people love it, some people don't.
It's overplayed, but I got that from Dave Paul.
So we should
Yeah,
blame
I think Rice Cube was playing that for a while too. Rice Cube,
Yeah,
I think he played it pretty early.
I got it up on the Extended Mix site because Marky heard it and he's like, "Guy, why are you keeping this from me?" And I'm like, "I'm not. Everybody's playing it." And he's like, "I want." So I sent him a copy. He made a short version and a long version. But yeah, I played it last week and somebody complained during the show. But you know what? You can't please every single person, and I'm not there to try to please every single person. I'm going to play stuff that people don't like. We all are. We're going to play songs that, hey, 20 people like it, 10 people don't.
Yeah.
You can't please everybody, but it's a good song. But it's beaten to the death now, and obviously it's something now you may pull out every couple months now.
Yeah, or Disco Vinny put in "Call Me Maybe." He also said he hates the song "I Know What Boys Like." Who does that one? Is that the Waitresses?
Waitresses, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that song.
Sorry.
I don't think I have a song personally myself that I hate. I really don't. I think I just like. I don't know. I can tolerate anything, really.
Tom knows mine.
Sounds like a challenge.
Yeah, mine's Jefferson Airplane Ship, whatever they're called.
Built this city.
Oh, the worst song ever.
I almost played Dances on it too. I looked at it. I'm going to play it just for the hell of it.
You
And
should have.
Hell it, no. I decided no.
So we know Tom's least favorite songs are anything by Canadian band Our Lady Peace and another Canadian band, Haywire. Their song's called Dance Desire.
You know what's funny about that? I went to my high school was called Academy of Our Lady of Peace. So every time you say that, I think of my high school.
Dave Paul in the chat said he went downstairs, came back, and now he sees that he's being blamed for something.
Dave, it's all your fault.
Yeah, we're blaming you, Dave Paul, for playing the Cocktail Waitress version of "Don't You Want Me" by.
That's where I heard it from, but I'm not blaming Dave. That's where I heard it, or it was. Yeah, I think it was Cube, and then Cube said he heard it.
Cube.
Yeah,
Rice Cube played it pretty early on. I think that was the first time I saw it on Rice Cube. Or I don't. Yeah, I feel like that may have been the first time I saw it. He played it pretty early.
Oh, it's a great remix. I think Dave Paul there even posted today. He still doesn't know where she works.
Yeah, that's right. That's like the I mean, whoever did it, I mean, it was pretty creative. Whoever put it together for the very first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. Anyway, all right. So Dan, you have no songs that you absolutely hate, dislike, whatever. You tolerate everything.
No, nothing that I just can't tolerate. If it's played, sure, I'm good to go.
All right.
I got some streams I could point you to.
Disco Vinny, I don't have access to mute you, man. I didn't mute you.
Oh yeah, that'll be my next question, Sam. Who's your favorite Twitch DJ? You don't have to answer. I'm just being silly. I'm just trying to put you on the spot. You don't have to.
DJ Staples.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I'd say the ones that I went to first are the ones that I've been the most connected to, I think, and that's Dave Paul and Brackton and this guy DJ Prince who does a Prince night on the weekends. Like those are the ones that I always make sure that I'm at most of all. But I mean, everyone's great. I spend a lot of time probably too much time on Twitch.
No, please. No, I think everybody spends it.
Yeah,
We all spend a lot of time on Twitch. I don't think you're alone there. That's for sure. That's for sure.
What about your favorite emote? What's your favorite emote? Actually, let's break it up into two. What's your favorite emote of your own that you've created, and your favorite emote that you outside of yours?
I tend to like the sort of silly emotes, the ones that are just kind of just random, non sequitur silly. So, like my favorite one right now is Stupid Sexy Flanders. You know, like from The Simpsons, where he's on his skis. There, I just put it up there.
Oh yeah.
Stupid Sexy Flanders. I like that one. Just because it's goofy and like you put it out there and people laugh. So I think ones that I like. I think I just really appreciate having Prince emotes out there. DJ Prince uses a lot of my Prince emotes, so having those available, like Prince's silly face, where he's just kind of grimacing to the camera. That one, I really like that one a lot.
That's great. Was it you I was talking to, Sam, about a Bono emote? I had one initially, and then I got rid of it. But was that you? You said you got one of the early Bono and then one of the Fly, right?
Yep, I do.
It's funny how emotes. I'm sorry?
They're sitting on that page.
Oh, they are? Okay. I have to go check it out. It's funny how emotes work because, you know, a lot of times we put things that are custom towards the page, but when there's more generic, like obviously I love the 80s and all these 80s channels, those always seem to go pretty well. Oh, there you go. I just saw you put the Prince up there in chat there. That's great. But it's always
one of the things with emotes too, I got to say, like when a streamer's putting an emote in, so for example, the Stupid Sexy Flanders one, when a streamer's putting an emote in Twitch, this is just, I think I've talked about this before, is try and keep the name short. The longer you have it, the less number of emotes you can throw in the chat when you're trying to flood the chat with an emote, because Twitch only lets you post so many comments or so many characters in there kind of thing. Yeah. So I realized that the best thing to do is try and keep it with a shorter term kind of thing, or a shorter extension on that part. Right. Disco Vinny has the okay, so for that one there, the Stupid Sexy Flanders, for example, if it was just kept at SSF kind of thing or whatever, you can just put more emotes in. Anyways, that's my tip of the day.
Thanks, Dan. Dan.
I just wish Twitch would loosen it up and allow DJs to use more of them, because there's so few slots.
I wish I can scroll back up. I forget who it is. I think Disco Vinny said it. Like 5 emotes. That's it. It's so frustrating to have to pick and choose which emote can I use, which one do I need to use, and
yeah, it's a bummer, really.
And then we get in trouble, like Mary said earlier. She's like, "Oh, everybody's upset that we can't use that emote anymore." Well,
right.
What you want to change it up?
Dan,
that was my favorite.
Yeah.
Dan, you can use more than 5 emotes.
Well, you can when you have the bit emotes as well. Yes.
Yes.
That's right. But again, you're still limited with the number of emotes that you have. You know.
With the bits, you can get up to. I got up to about 9 or 10 of them.
Yeah, same. I have, including my tier 2 and my tier 3. Where's my emotes here? I have 12 emotes total, including my tier 2 and tier 3.
How many?
I might have to grab that Olivia one.
Here's all my emotes. I'm just posting them in here right now. Those are all my emotes.
Yeah.
I like the self-promotion, Dan. That's good stuff.
Thank you. Yeah. If you want to find those emotes, just head on over to Impressions DJ.
Subtle, Dan.
Yeah, real subtle, Dan.
Don't forget to follow and hit that subscribe button.
That's
I I threw in one, for example, actually, Victor. I don't know if Victor's still in here, but Victor Dancer was mentioning in a chat one day. He says, "Oh, there's no Thompson twin emotes."
I love that
I
one.
grabbed it and I threw that Thompson twins. I'm like,
It's Tom.
there you go.
Yeah, all the DJs in the chat, put in your custom emotes so we can self-promote. I'm cool with it. Just send them to me so I can get them for free, please.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a poll, and I'm going to take out one of those retro mix family ones, and I'm going to see if people can pick one from your list, Sam, the ones you have.
Oh, nice.
And
That's cool.
And switch them up.
That's a great idea.
What kind of poll do you want to do here, Tom? What are we asking?
Well, his emoji wall. Pick one from his emoji wall. Maybe Olivia, John, a Prince one. I'm gonna exchange it because I never use some of these emotes anymore. There's a few.
All right.
So I might do that. Switch it up.
So what was it again? samnation.com/emote.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dave Paul's got some wicked emojis as well.
Yeah. Hey, somebody better get a good police or sting emote. I'm dying here.
Victor just mentioned that, right?
I mean, what the heck? Come on, people.
So this, because Vinny was saying like he changes his emotes pretty much based on the stream that he's doing. So last night he had all the Star Trek stuff, but Olivia's going to be back on Wednesday. So.
Yay! Thank you.
But are you guys still under the old where if you do one, you upload it, and then Twitch tells you a day or two later, it's approved?
No, after you do 60 shows, you can automatically upload on your own.
I think I've done 60 shows then.
After 60 shows of being an affiliate.
Yeah. I've been affiliate for a while, so I should be. I think I've been doing one every day since November. So
how do you know? Besides counting on your own?
It didn't give me a notification or anything. I just was able to start doing it on my own, and that's it. Okay. So go back and check when your affiliate date is, and then go back into Twitch and count the number of shows that you actually had according to Twitch there.
Yeah.
And then once you're around that 60 mark, you should be able to be good to go. Well,
yeah, Dan. Later on, I'll speak with. I'll talk to you, and we'll try to find it because I can look it up on the computer while we're here.
I was looking forward to that day. Like, it's so great now because now there's no delay at all. You just drop in a new emote and it's instantly uploaded, and it's just a matter of refreshing your Twitch browser and you're good to go.
Like instant?
Instant.
Just,
right away.
Just be careful because it's a bummer when you spent 1,000 bits on an emote, a bit emote, and someone changes that out because just watch out because I know that can be a sore subject when you've really dropped the bits and it's gone. That's a bummer.
Yeah.
Good to know. All right. Dan, Tom, any last questions for our guests here this evening?
I'm good.
Wow. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, Mary, listen, it was great talking to you, Mary, and getting your face out there because, again, kind of spoke about this offline. Everybody knows Mary quite contrary, but it's always nice to put a face to the name. And Sam, again, your kindness is just amazing. And Tom and I appreciate it so much. I don't want to speak, but I just did. And Dan, I'm sure. But no, really, it was good to talk to you and have you on here. And again, put a face to your name as well.
And look, Tom has Totoro. Yay! That's cute.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, that's Totoro.
Totoro? What
yeah, it's a movie. You can watch it. It's on. I think they're all on the Disney Channel.
Pearl has it right here. Pearl has it on the TV.
Yay,
Oh, no.
Pearl! Totoro is the best.
Very nice.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Staples.
Yeah, thank you. This is fun. I was nervous, but it's fun. It was good.
Well, come on.
And nobody threw me under the bus, which was a great feeling.
You still didn't answer the question, but it's okay.
I don't plan to.
Why Mary, I'm going to turn my entire Twitch channel over to you.
Disco Vinny. Nice. No, I'm perfectly happy being behind the scenes.
Did you
24/7 of Olivia Newton-John and Depeche Mode?
Right. There you go. That's a good channel.
Does anybody else have questions, Staples?
Oh, yes. Thank you, Thomas. I'm glad you asked.
No, anybody in the chat?
Yeah, let's see. Anybody in the chat would like to ask Mary or Sam a question?
And Sam, you were about to say something there too?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I wanted to ask Mary if she's got like I'm very curious about like drama in the chat room. I guess it's kind of like
She's
the
the wrong one to ask.
the reality show viewer in me wants to know, without naming names, like, do you have like a funny story of something that went down or something like odd that happened? I'm just kind of curious.
I don't care.
Oh yeah, I've had a I wouldn't say a stalker, but someone who is now a bridge that has been burned, and she, I believe it's she, is showing up in channels under a false name and just completely, really just laying out some nasty language. So I finally got to ban her from a channel yesterday. That was nice. That was a nice feeling.
See, look at the words there. Exactly. I say it all the time. Got to highlight that. There you go. Cray, cray. Cray, cray.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Also, what's funny, what we've been doing too in the Zoom group that I am with, the Aussies and the UK DJs, we've started this thing where we check out all the just chatting, like the hot tub people and the people who sit there and write on themselves and they have like 10,000 viewers. That's been very interesting, just sort of branching out. I had no idea any of this existed on Twitch. I pretty much just stayed with all these channels that I've been listening to, and suddenly my eyes have been opened in very unexpected and scary ways to what is out there on Twitch. And there's some really very funny and interesting, people who are making a lot of money, obviously, just sitting there doing nothing, pretty much.
I don't think you're their target audience, Mary. That's why I don't think you ran across.
Yeah. Others opened my eyes to these people, who shall remain unnamed. But so it's been funny actually going through and we've trolled a few of those people. Like after our one night, a group of us, after our Zoom meeting was over, we've done some fun things. So it's just been interesting to see what's out there. As a mod, though, I have to say when my own friend comes into a chat and I have to almost ban that person, that gets interesting.
What does it take to make that happen? Asking for a friend.
Yeah. Thanks, Dan.
Well, I feel like my job. My job is basically to protect the DJ. If someone comes in and starts heckling or, complaining or making it basically an unfavorable environment for the DJ, that's kind of my job to step in and say, hey, stop. So I've had to do that on Rice Cube's channel a few times. And it's not pleasant, and it's an unfortunate occurrence, but it happens. Other than that,
is the obnoxious one?
What's that?
What if the DJ is the obnoxious one?
I have a lot of obnoxious DJs. Everyone has their obnoxious moments. No, I'm joking. Everyone's been really nice. And for the most part, I think it's been great. Everyone's so friendly, and I greet people. I really love laughing. And so when we have when people start getting really silly or they start something funny, you can't see me back here, but I am laughing hard. So just my stomach's hurting. So, those are the funnest times for me when people are just being ridiculous and silly and I'm just dying laughing. It's so fun. So, there's drama, but yeah.
It's funny how something so simple and fun is just watching people play music, and that kind of stuff actually happens, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, just hang out, have some fun, and be on with it.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
In the chat, is there any other questions? We got Disco Vinny in the chat along with
Vinny Vegas.
Vinny Vegas.
Yep.
He is here. I hope.
And I actually want to give a shout out to when I first came on Twitch. There were some mods who I really looked up to. I thought were really great, like Love Bunny, who's here. And another is Doll Baby Tina from all the Chicago DJs. Like those are a couple of people who, like when I first came, they were just really great, like really great people to. And I felt like a little girl kind of watching them and go, oh, I was fangirling. So I just wanted to give a shout out to them because they're really awesome.
Victor had a good question.
Victor is right.
Yeah.
Victor will say that himself. He considers himself the worst mod in Twitch, right, Victor?
Tom says it's him. Anyway. All right. I don't know if there's any other questions in the chat or not. Maybe. Hello. Let's see what we got. Yes, Anne Marie. I'm going to. Anne Marie asked if I'm going to post this to watch again. So yes, when this is over, it's automatically going to get saved on my channel, and then I'm also going to upload it to YouTube. Which, if you're friends with me on Facebook, I'll probably attach the link there, and you guys can watch it again if you so desire to. So. See, we go. Cool. All right. Well, listen, there's no more questions in the chat, Mary and Sam. So again, thank you for joining. I appreciate.
Thank you.
And
very fun.
I appreciate you doing this. I'm one of those folks where it's nice to chat with people online, but when you see their face, I know I harp on this, but now I feel like there's more of a friendly connection. Like I always figured you're kind of friends, but now that I've actually seen you guys on here, I do consider you guys friends. So I appreciate you being on here and. Putting up with the other three of us.
Yeah, likewise. Great.
Especially that guy right there.
Yeah.
The one in the dark.
Thank God Mike Harding's not here with his bad connection. His phone. And I don't know.
Where are those guys? What's going on?
Eli is MIA, so I hope he's all right. But yeah. Anyway. So Sam and Mary, thank you guys. And I'm sure we'll catch you all in the chat very soon.
Hey, chat, let's get some fire emotes going for Sam and Mary here. Come on.
Yes. Put those fire
emotes. Let's get the heart emotes going on.
All right. Thank you, guys. I'm going to
all right.
Don't take this personally what I'm about to do.
Yeah.
I got to hit these buttons.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Bye. Take care, guys.
Now, there we go. So that was fun. I enjoyed having Mary and Sam on. I was considering, if he's listening, sending the link to our pals. Well, you know who the first one is, right? We got to get.
Just send it over to him and get him in here already.
I think we need to get the two Vinnies in here.
They're dying to come in. They're dying to come in. Right. So
Tom keeps disappearing, so he wants nothing to do with it.
Well, Pearl's. I'm eating a little bit of dinner, and I don't want people watching me while I'm eating. So.
No, I'm just busting your chops.
All right, that's called mukbang.
You're busting my eggplant.
You're eating eggplant, are you?
No, I'm having rice, and then she's got steak over here.
Ooh,
it's we were at Montana's for dinner on the weekend, so.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right, so I sent the link to both of the Vinnies. Let's see if they click in here. Let's see how long it takes.
Let's go. Click on it. Let's go. Get you going.
Let's see what they got going on. And I haven't heard from Mike Harding either. So, and listen, there you go. We're just going to zoom in, eh? Zoom in. Listen, earlier I made a quick comment about DJ Bueller because I'm like, yeah, whatever. And I just like to clarify, I wasn't trying to be a smart ass. It was somebody made the comment.
Really?
No. Somebody made a comment that as soon as something happened, like all the viewership went low. So I was really more a knock at myself. I wasn't trying to be a jerk to him. I'm hoping he's watching, and I hope he does join us 1 week soon.
We're at 41 numbers. That's pretty good.
We did all right. We had
a bunch of hack DJs. It's not bad.
That's right. Thank God for you guys being on here. Otherwise, I'd have my usual 8 people.
Yeah.
So, thanks to Dan for pulling in all the numbers tonight.
Heather was asking which Bueller she said there.
That'll be Aaron Schofield. So we'll see. He's a busy guy, so we'll see what we can figure out, if anything. I'm hoping he joins. I'm a big fan. He was. I started Twitch because of him, to follow him, and then that's when I discovered Tom. Actually, that's how our love story begins. That's and that it's been all downhill since then.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's why I played the Hall & Notes for you this afternoon.
I saw it. And it's funny because I was working and listening to you and doing stuff around the house. I had the volume down. I was making calls and such. And then I turned it on and there it is. You making my dreams come true. And I'm never gonna hear that song the same way. So,
So I want to talk about Thursday's show, but I'm waiting for the man to come in here. What is going on with him? He's probably getting his wig on. He's trying to get his wig on. That's what he's doing.
You know what I'm going to do? Watch this. I'm going to get another Toronto DJ on here. I'm going to see if wait, because he's a good guy and I've always wanted to talk to him. And I'm sure you guys know him as well. There it is. I am DJ Money TV. Do you know him, Tom?
I do.
You do? And do you know him, Dan?
Yep.
I enjoy watching his shows.
Yeah, that's back in my Easy in the Fifth Richmond Street days.
Oh, okay. Oh, of course.
Oh, here he is. Lady,
do you want to take the honors?
Can I introduce him? Do you mind?
Yeah, do it.
I'm going to introduce him with 2 words. You ready?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen. Hey, yo. He loved that introduction too. He loved it.
There he is.
Where's get your camera on? Your camera's not on.
Where's my camera, dude?
It's like the cigarette.
Device not connected. Oh, we lost him.
Oh my God. I laugh every time. It's like DJs and we're streaming online and we're doing our thing. Can I introduce the next guy?
Do it up.
Canadian guy, nice guy, great DJ, Mr. I Am DJ Mikey. Let's add him to the stream. Look, he's dressed all nice.
Hey!
What's up? Can you see us?
What's up?
Can you hear us okay?
Yeah. I'm like, you guys caught me off guard. I'm just like trying to get in with this.
How are you doing, my friend? It's nice to actually talk to you.
Oh, sure. It's good to talk to everybody here too. What's going on, Russian DJs? Retro Mix TO.
Good to see you, guy. Guy, your mic's a little low though. Bring that mic up a little bit.
How about that now? Is that good?
I don't know if the chat if you guys can hear okay.
Can you hear me? Come on, no. I'm redlining on.
Vinny's still trying to figure out his
I'm still trying to figure this out here.
Vinny's trying to figure out his camera. D-Money's trying to figure out his mic.
It's not selecting a camera for some reason. Really weird. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Vinny.
Oh, that's weird.
Money, it sounds like your mic isn't on.
Are you serious?
Yeah. If you talk if you get closer just to are you on a laptop?
No.
And turn down Twitch. If you have us on Twitch, turn down Twitch.
That's my wife.
Guys, I'm just going to grab a drink. I'll be right back.
Sure,
Anybody want anything from the bar?
How about this? This must be much better.
Oh, yeah. Way better, way gooder. I'll take
it. On
it
the wrong input, man. Wrong input completely. This is the mic that we're talking on now. There we go.
Pick it up a little bit and you're good.
That's better?
Oh, way gooder.
Oh, amazing.
How are you, man? It's so nice to talk to you.
I'm good to talk to you guys.
I'm sorry we caught you off guard, but I know you go. Were you on live tonight already, or are you going?
I was. I literally finished 23 minutes ago.
Okay.
So that's why it's all fancy still. If not, it'd be just me in this room.
You got it's like smooth sounding with your mic right now.
Well, very smooth. That's why I was shocked that you were like, "Oh, you can't hear me." I'm like, "Are you serious? I bought all this stuff and it sounds like crap."
I know all this equipment and I don't have it working. Bro,
Staples, don't leave the man waiting in there. Hey, give this guy an introduction too.
D-Money, have you ever seen a gentleman by the name of Disco Vinny?
Disco Vinny, yes.
All right, because I was going to say, if not, you're all in for a treat, and for everybody that's in the chat.
I'm subscribed to Disco Vinny. I love.
Oh, there you go.
I have lots of Disco Vinny's remixes and videos. You are a legend to me on your reworks. Like you reimagine songs, brother. So You
I
are
found
feel
this
his
movie
ego too
back
much.
the other day that was absolutely insane, and I can't remember for the Love Bunny. You were there. What was that song that I played? It was freaking awesome. It was from '94. I know that.
I did.
Oh yeah. Guy, it was fire, man. It was a complete redo of the song kind of thing. It was
From
a slow jam too. It was a slow jam.
Is it "You Gotta Be" by Desiree?
No. It'll come to me. I'll let you guys know. It'll come to me.
From 1994. Usually I'm older than
Was
that.
it a Janet? Was it like an old Janet song?
Oh, Again by Janet?
Yeah, because that was all of it. Like, I'm just gonna raid your entire
and
crate.
I added the French because she did a French version, so I melded the French into there because I liked it when she sang French.
It's just amazing.
Sounded sexy.
I'm gonna gas you up so much. I didn't think I'd be talking to you. Like, this is amazing.
What I like to do, I like to put everybody on the spot a little bit here, you know?
No, for sure. No, like literally Disco Vinny. I play your edits every Sunday. I'm gonna plug myself right now.
Do it up.
Nice and easy.
Oh my God, I play every
1 to
Sunday
3
too.
1 to 3. Oh God. So then
That is awesome.
Cancel the plug.
No, I want you to send me the link. I want to watch. I don't have a link to that show. I need to see that. I know I follow you.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. It's
And
the show
let's
is
shout
the
out
show
your
is the
wife,
way it
too.
is because of you, honestly.
Oh, thank
Between
you.
you and
That
Scratch
that makes me happy. I put a lot of heart into what I do, so that makes me feel happy.
No, I can feel it. It's
Steve
amazing.
Money, I got a question. The Saturday
Tell me.
morning vibes with Jay is one of my, and next to some of your stuff is like some of my favorite stuff to watch. Like, do you guys get everything from Vinny, or is it like a combination retro? I know Jay does retro mix and all that good stuff.
It's scour the internet, see what you can find, and I'm subscribed to so many different pools as well, on top of some core ones that I've always worked from.
Yeah.
And if they're there and available, that's where I get them from. A lot of them extend the mix,
Let me do it
Is that
again.
okay
now,
to say
guys.
here? I don't know the dynamic in the room, so
Let me do it again if you guys don't mind. Hey yo.
there he is.
What's going on, everybody?
Oh, you got sleeves on today. You must be cold.
Where's the push-up cam? Man? Where's the push-up cam?
I can make that change. I can make that change right there. Disco Vinny in the house. How are you, Disco Vinny?
How are you, Disco Vinny Vegas?
Let's just sit
I
back
kept
and
calling
watch.
you Disco Vinny Vegas last night. I kept calling you Disco Vinny Vegas last night. I had too much tequila online. It was
I love it. And I am DJ Money in the flesh. There he is right there. There's my
What's
boy
going
right
on?
there. I am DJ Money.
Flicking toothpicks and walking in the room. That's it.
That's right.
Before I come back to it, Vinny, it was, believe it or not, out of all songs, I thought it was like done so brilliantly. It changed the dynamics of the song. Michael Bolton said, "I loved you."
Oh, said I loved you, but I lied.
It was so well done the way you did that. Absolutely
thank you.
fantastic. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really changed the dynamics of the song of how it, and it gave it more. So
I have a hard time listening to it because all I can do is watch him with that hair. It's like, oh my God. Where did you get that hair? You're walking on water with that hair. You're just killing me.
What's new and exciting? Oh, Disco Vinny, how does it feel to be surrounded by all these Canadians again?
I'm constantly surrounded by Canadians. Believe me, with the reputation this country's had the past 4 years, I love it.
We'll welcome.
I'd rather be surrounded by Canadians. I'd rather be surrounded by anything but Americans. They're embarrassing.
So D Money, what nights are you on? You're on Mondays, right?
Yeah, Sundays, Mondays, and Wednesdays. So.
And you have some of the best scenes that I've seen because you did the for a lot of the Canadian folks in the house. What was the name of that late night driving around show? What was it called?
Oh, geez, Night Moves.
Night Moves. Does anybody remember what Night Moves is? Right?
Yeah.
Is that like a Friday Night Videos kind of thing?
It was like 2 a.m. kind of thing. Like the channel refused to shut down, so they would. I wouldn't say refused, right? But like they just propped the camera on top of a car, and the car drove around the city.
I remember that.
While they played smooth jazz music.
Yeah.
And
till
so
like 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
5 in the morning, and you get to Canada, and then start your day.
Yeah. And so it's one of his scenes that he uses. It's just, Usually he's got his chill vibe thing going on. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm
you're
wrong.
right. You're absolutely right. I don't do it every week, but every so often I say, let's go for a drive, guys.
You should do it every week.
I should dedicate a stream. But the funniest thing is on YouTube, he's got even the 80s ones. So the ones that we would have seen from that era are up there and posted. So I've always said I'm going to do an 80s stream with the 80s drive, and I've yet to do it. So
that would be great.
Yeah. No jazz though. No jazz.
It's so great though when you do that, because it just reminds me of that. And I love you just be up at night and like, oh, I'll pop on channel whatever and just watch the car drive around him.
Yep.
You know I like a good overlay. That's all I'm doing now. It's just crazy. Did you see any of the Star Trek ones the other night, Staples?
I did.
Oh, you did.
I did.
Were
you legitimately drunk on the tequila, Vinny? I thought you were.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, it's just all for show.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Except for I, for some reason, couldn't get Vinny. I was like, Disco Vinny Vegas. I'm like, why do I keep saying that?
You can call me anything you want. Just don't call me late for dinner.
I know that was coming. Classic. Classic.
Got that from a mile away.
Yeah.
So Vinny, let's plug your Soul Train. Disco Vinny. Sorry.
Yeah, you have to clarify.
Yeah.
Or we can just both answer.
Say what?
We can just both answer.
There you go.
We're both on it, so why not?
That's true. So what version of the Soul Train is this coming up this Thursday?
What version?
Well, volume 1, 2, volume, I don't know what the word is. Somebody help me out.
Oh, this will be the fourth one, I think.
Okay. Just real quick, and not to take a step back. Here's Money schedule posted by Mrs. Money. Also very nice.
See how good she is?
She's good like that.
Man. Yeah, that's the schedule.
There you go.
Yeah. And
so Vinny, you're saying this is only the fourth incarnation of the Soul Train? Is that even right?
I think there's been more than that. I think there's been more than that. I think this is
this is the fourth one.
Really?
Yep. I know it feels like more.
It feels like we've been doing this all summer long.
Yeah. No, it's only the fourth one. And this week it's pretty much the same. I think there was one little switch of time because someone that wanted it last time couldn't, and I made it work. But we're all almost the same. All of the new DJs that wanted to do it couldn't do it, or just had it. It's like, well, y'all said you wanted to do it, and then you said you couldn't. So, but I think we've got King of Pants. DJ Dave Paul is going to watch it this week because he said he's interested. So I hope we get him on board. Freddie G actually said he'd be interested. He just wanted to get a little better health-wise. But I think after this one, he might join us. And what he does his normal stream on Mondays, what he was thinking was that I said, how about if we raided to you during your last hour, and then you could raid to the next person? And he was like, that would actually work good. So I would love to be able to get Freddie G on here too. He's my mentor. He's the one that taught me so much about my remixing, and he's fabulous.
Is D Money on the raid train? Has he ever been approached on the raid train?
I don't have your connect. I need you to send your link.
You had started from scratch.
I don't have your info.
No, but you had started from scratch. Like you guys are at a different caliber of DJ.
Oh, no. Well, no. Starting from scratch is a lucky thing, and I'm a little. He promised me. I sent him a whole bunch of my remixes. I said, only if you promise to give us once a month on the Soul Raid Train. He said, deal. I'll be the first Thursday of each month. So the first Thursday of April comes along. I can't do it. Well, that was quick. So I was like, I know you're big and everything, but you're going to do something and don't do it.
You gotta stick.
He's done 2 with us already. Am I correct?
Just one.
He's done one. Okay.
Yeah. Jaybird's another big one that's been doing, and he'll be on this one as well.
That's why D Money's got to fill in. Listen, this is basically what.
Okay. Yes, guys.
D Money.
Yes.
No money.
Yes.
No money.
No money.
Yes.
I honestly don't care how big you are. Well, I shouldn't say that. Actually, I do. Never mind. It always comes out of my mouth before I think about it.
Don't worry, it's okay. They say they catch me every time. We got to say pause behind it, and then it's okay.
But I don't care how many viewers you have. I care what you put into it and how much fun you have with it. And I know that you are great. So I don't, Scratch has 500 people, great. But I want it to be full of fun people. I want people to have a great time. I don't care if we only have 30 viewers. If there are 30 great viewers, it's better than 300 viewers that I have no idea who they are.
You let me know.
So what you're saying is you'd rather a hype train from 8 people versus a hype train from 300 people?
Well, a hype train or a rave train?
I'm just any train for that.
A hype train is great with 10 people that have lots of money. That's great.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I have had
low number
crazy hype trains when I've only had 13 viewers, and I'm like, how are we at level 5 with 13 people? It's the same person.
Yep.
Thank you.
Well, I
appreciate you whoever you are, right?
Yeah.
At least I know you're a man of your word, Disco Vinny, because when you say you don't care if it's 10 viewers or 50 or 500 viewers, because you have me in them, so I know that you're not concerned about large numbers with everybody.
No, but every time I make the schedule, I hem and haw. God, do I have to put Staples in there? Jeez.
Good. That's what she said.
Staples is the headliner as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, stop.
Where's this guy at? What's he doing?
Mr. Mike Harding.
What's he doing? Come on now.
Holy.
My heart. Be still my heart.
Okay, you got the link. Jump in. Let's go, Mike.
Yeah, of all people.
All things. I got a memory upgrade on my computer, and for some reason, Google Chrome disappeared. That's what took me so long. I'm sorry. It's like, where the hell is Google Chrome? Why would that disappear?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
I hate computers. I hate them.
Well, you can never tell by your overlays because they look incredible. You've been doing such great work lately at Disco Vinny.
I have so many things I want to do if I can only figure out it's like I want to put myself in all these different TV shows. I've got one I'm working on for Easter. I have I have these little ears. That'll give
yes.
So if I will be in Bob's Burgers if I have my way.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's going to be fun, I hope.
That's exactly Bob's Burgers guy. Exactly Bob's. Wow.
I can't remember her name, but yeah.
Louise,
there you go.
Although I'm more like a Tina. No, I'm more like a Louise. I love Tina, but I'm definitely more Louise.
Mrs. Money says in the background here saying, I need a pair of those ears, so.
Where does one
plan is, the end of the show where they do all that fun dancing and stuff when they're in the kitchen, you always have that window, and it's like, I know I can put myself on the other side of the window in Bob's Burgers, so that's my plan.
What would be awesome is if you have the bunny ears and if you have Sam Nation's mask on.
Ooh.
That's it.
Oh, Victor Dancer's mask.
Now, how am I going to get his mask?
Yeah.
Amazon.com, apparently.
Oh, that's true.
That's where Sam said he got it from. That's it. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to look later on.
Like I need another costume.
Sam Nation, if you're still in the chat there, guy, do me a favor and send me a link to that, man. I want to take a look at that.
My next Friday costume came. Here's the hint.
Oh.
We are
going to do a new wave night.
There's copying
retro mixes emote. Thomas, you still have that emote or no?
I do.
You do? Yeah.
$80. Henry Hefe says it's $80 and it's a great deal on Amazon.com.
Really?
And is Tom put the Devo thing in the chat? Is anyone surprised
Mary.
also has those ears?
I need that, Mary. What about the ears?
Victor Dancer also has those same ears.
Yes. They were cheap. I got it on Amazon. It was like $10 or something. It's nothing spectacular.
Money well spent, though.
One of the best places to pick up things like that, I think, are things like Party City. Right?
Party City.
Party City.
Exactly. That's what I love about it. It's so much tackiness in there. It's awesome. The 99-cent store is another great place. You walk into like dollar store and it's just so many fantastic hats there and everything.
So now that Mary's only on the chat, now we can really talk about her now.
Oh, totally.
Well, yeah. I'm sorry that I missed her and Sam Nation earlier. I wanted to be on there with them and thank them personally for everything they've done. Mary, of course, for being the best mod in the business, and Sam Nation for doing all the emotes. I mean, I wanted a custom emote done. I said, I have this Razor Ramon emote. Can you spruce it up for me? And within a day, he sent it back to me immediately, and I can't believe it. And he doesn't want anything in return.
No.
Yeah.
He got me hooked. I am making all my own emotes now, and he got me hooked on it. I was like, I was like, oh, it's like I can do this. Is so much fun, and it is. It is so much fun to make it. It makes your show more personal if you can do it.
Well, I'm gonna need a lesson in how to make your own emotes, because I've got a bunch of ideas I'd like to create as well.
It's real easy. Do you have Pixelmator?
Nope. So we'll start there, I guess.
Pixelmator is the best thing because you can take just about any image in there and erase the background, and then go in there and clean it up a bit and make it the right size, and boom, you've got an emote. So far I've been able to do it with just about anything, and it's real easy.
Right. I think you need to have like a certain ratio, 500 by 500, or.
Yeah, well, you start out with something large, and then when you finally get your finished product, then you make it 200 by 200, so Twitch will take it.
Right.
It looks like Retro Mix.
Look at DJJ.
We're gonna pull up.
I need that Evo Retro
Shout out
Mix.
to DJJ online, man. That's the coolest.
Get Jay online in here, man. Get that guy in here.
I'll get off just so Jay can
We have to get off. We're good now.
Don't get off. That's nobody.
You don't need to get off, guys.
I thought it was a maximum of 6 cameras.
No. We got my account going on here. We're good.
Oh,
Mini Vegas, we don't want to see you get off.
I'm going to send Jay the link.
Disco Vinny, it'll get messy if I get off, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's right.
There's a whole lot of pent-up energy.
Viewership just went up. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Is it spicy in here all of a sudden?
It's
Spicy?
Spicy.
Jeez,
It's
spicy.
a spicy meatball.
This is money. Put the spicy emotes in the chat.
Sriracha in here.
I just sent him the link to join. Hopefully he'll jump on, because I'd like to clip, go over the debate or have the discussion as to why D Money doesn't order Jay Uber Eats anytime he asks when he's streaming.
Jay's not going to come on, it seems.
And
no,
then
he's streaming in 20 minutes.
Oh, is he?
He's on the same raid train as me.
Oh, right.
What happened to Mike Harding? I thought he was popping in.
I don't know. I sent him the link.
I don't know what's going on. He's a Scarborough man's, isn't he? Just like you Staples?
Yeah.
You guys move differently.
They keep coming in and they see Staples is there, and they're like, "Oh, never mind."
Yeah, well, story of my life.
Money, I put the scar in Scarborough, baby.
Okay, all right, I like it.
I'm at Brimley and Lawrence.
Oh, jeez.
Your wife says that she's still waiting for Jay to send you the Starbucks.
Jay gets Starbucks like every morning, man. He loves Starbucks.
Every morning.
Oh, look, see, it just seems to be. You know what, D Money, when we were doing some of these conversations the last couple of weeks, and I'm hoping the other guys in here don't like, oh, he's going to ask that stupid question again, but I'm going to, because this is my first opportunity to speak with you in person like this. Do you have any horror stories of events that you've done that have gone really badly, not because of your own fault, but just like circumstances?
Yeah, I started playing like Isley McIsaac or something like that, and
Ashley McIsaac, yeah.
Ashley, geez,
Yeah.
terrible. My apologies, everybody.
No worries.
Sorry.
No worries.
I know a lot of music, but I can't keep up with everything. And it's a classic, obviously. But this couple, it's at a wedding, outdoor wedding. It's got the floors that they just kind of make. They put them wherever they want, but it's not on a level ground. But it was level-ish. So I dropped the track, and this couple wants to do the jig all over this dance floor, knocks my speaker over into the beer tub.
Oh my God!
Yeah, they weren't my speakers. They were Jay's speakers at the time. That's how I got into owning a whole bunch of equipment after that. Okay, see how he's correcting it in the chat.
Yeah.
No, wrong answer.
Speaker went into the water, he says.
No, it went straight into the beer tub. Like that was it. The beer tub full of ice went off the stand and couldn't have hit an inch the other way or inch the other way, right into it. So needless to say, it was like 11:30 and the wedding was over because I was pissed. So
Wow. That's crazy. I was at a wedding. That's so crazy you said that, because I was at a wedding once with Vinny Vegas, and he was standing right by the beer tub, and he fell right in. Although I don't know if he purposely fell or what. We're still undetermined there.
That's a much better story.
It's all lies. He's just making this up for the. He's making this up for the audience at home.
He just went right in, head first.
What else? Is there another one like as bad, or it's just a bad situation? Maybe not as bad as a speaker falling in any of the beer or water, but what about?
Mrs. Mighty's telling me of another one. Who's bringing boys to the yard? Cool.
Whoops, sorry about that.
Is that you, Vinny?
Vinny Vegas, your milkshake was bringing me to the yard. Sorry about that.
Oh, jeez. I think another one. It's all wedding stories because I don't know. Craziness only happens at weddings for some reason.
I agree.
So I get there. It's another outdoor wedding, and I think I'm just going to stop doing outdoor weddings because outdoor weddings are always problems. And I go ahead.
Microphones are the worst.
Everything's just the worst sometimes. You get some really good ones, and then when they go bad, they go really bad. So we're setting up. Everything's good. I back my car right up to where I need to unload most of my stuff. But this is on a farm, so they got a guy on a tractor booting around, doing his thing, and I'm like, okay, he's getting really close to my car. Like, really, like, this is my SUV. He's getting really close to this thing. Do I not know it? He lifts up the forks and bam, right in the side of my car. I've had the thing for like a month at that point. And so, yeah, that's how I started. It was like 3 o'clock.
With the forks?
With the forks, yep.
Wow.
So, yeah, nothing crazy, but like.
What about you turning down the club music to yell at a DJ? He says.
Oh, I have that one too. Who's telling this one? Jay telling stories? Oh yeah. So I got another guy pissed me off in the club. You guys make me seem like I'm an angry guy, but I'm not that angry. Yeah, another DJ just popping off at me. So I know how to use the mixer, so I turned down the mixer so I can yell at him in the club and then turn the music back up.
Awesome.
Good times.
The power a DJ has.
Unbelievable.
Just so you know,
more in the background. Is that what she's doing?
This is Money just whispered me a kiss, just so you know.
Oh, of course. How about
Jay says you're actually an angry guy, though, for real.
I wasn't. I'll be honest with you. I want to talk some real stuff, some like emotional things for 5 minutes. I was a very angry person years ago. Very. I just wasn't all right there. You know what I mean?
It happens.
Then I grew up and got over it.
You seem so chill right now.
I was going to say, you strike me more as a This Is Us kind of person.
Well, I'm probably closer to a This Is Us now than I was before.
I think you're going to have tears at any moment.
No, never.
DJ J says that he chalks it all up to his tutelage that you've calmed down.
Do we believe that or do we not believe that?
So he says he's made you nicer.
I don't know.
I see DJ J as just a happy, funny, easygoing, happy-go-lucky kind of guy. So
see, that's.
I'm not saying you're not a nice guy either, G Money.
That's the impression he likes to give you.
I'm wondering why DJ J isn't doing that magic on Staples.
I can hear you, Vinny. I can hear you.
Sorry, that was my outside voice. I'm sorry.
You sandbagging son of a bitch.
I don't even know how I got on the show, honestly. Jay, they just sent me I tuned in, they sent the link.
Aren't you glad?
What the hell?
Listen, no, truthfully, like every week, a bunch of us get on here, we chat, and I have some guests on the thing. And I thought about, it would be great to have you and Jay on here and do this, because you guys are, again, I follow Tom and the mic, guys in the impressions, and then it's you and Jay. I love watching you guys. I love talking to you guys. You and your wife are so nice in the chat. You know,
we try.
Yeah, you know.
That's all his wife too. It's she takes over both accounts and just messages for both. No.
Really? Probably.
Where is Mrs. Money? Put Mrs. Money on the camera. Let's see the real beauty.
You know what? For DJ J says any day, but
there she is.
I'll do another one of these if you guys can be on it and it's not a Monday.
Yeah, that's what I said. Let's change it up for the Tuesday.
But now,
as long as it works with this guy right here, right?
yeah. Do you want to do the introduction there, Dan?
It's all you, guy. All you.
Look, just be look. What can I say?
Oh my God!
There he is.
Let the game speak for itself. That's it.
I've always wanted to be on top of my karting.
Oh,
Jeez,
What else, Bob?
Louise.
It was
Wow.
right there. I had to do it.
I think Disco Vinny was rehearsing that, waiting for another DJ to go underneath it.
pause. Yeah, pause. You forgot
Look at
to
all you
pause.
knuckleheads. Look at this. Vinny,
Mike Harding.
Don't
Hey,
Legend.
DJ, get a sample
Legend's
that.
legend.
I'm
Do not
feeling
poke me
this.
with your little
It's
finger.
down further. Look, there's Disco Vinny.
Mike
What?
Harding,
now?
what
I
happened?
say, shout out to Jay Online. I gotta say, shout out to Jay Online because that guy absolutely amazing. Saw a video he posted just talking about Twitch and stuff, and one of the greatest things he said. I think I've said this before. One of the greatest things he said. Friggin', this guy hit me when he said it. He said, respect the platform. Respect the platform for what it is. And
Nope.
the words on that are so true. Like some DJs who are coming on here, that's the way you need to do it. Just respect the platform for what it is and remember what Twitch is about, you know? So, yeah, shout out to Jay Online with that, man.
DJ J.
Hey, D Money, how are you doing? I heard your little you came back from your anger management class and you joined
Yep.
these knuckleheads for a drink.
I know. I don't know how I'm keeping it together still. Like,
What
geez.
happened?
I don't know. I met guys like you, man. You guys are good guys. Keep me in line.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Good for you. I like the
Honestly.
story about the speaker. The speaker in
No,
the
it's terrible. What
in
are you
the
talking
tub.
about?
It's
And
all
the stuff that
yacht
happened
rock
after it, trying to work it out with the couple just to, out of respect. But no, they were
Jay
just-
hates that story.
It happened.
yeah.
Who's the quiet guy above you there, D Money?
Yeah.
Who's the guy sitting in the corner? Is that a broom? What is
Some
that over
retro
there in the
guy.
corner?
No,
Oh.
he's gone. There
Oh,
you go.
There we go.
there he is. Thomas, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Mike?
You
What are you eating?
with all that money you're making on Twitch, you could get some lighting there.
Hey, Mike, that joke was 3
That's the
hours ago
first thing
when we
you said to
started
him.
this shit. Where
Thomas,
the hell have you been?
Thomas,
I'm
can
only
you send me
fucking with
that Devo emote? I would really love that. Can you send me that? Oh, for God's sake. I'll give you a biddy.
I bet you will.
How is
I'll talk to my people. We'll talk to your people.
Okay.
That's how big these guys are. They have their own people.
I'll trade you.
Got
I'll
peoples.
make
Everyone's
one
got
for you.
peoples.
Yeah.
I have one of me.
Mike, did you work tonight?
I did a drive-by event, a drive-by DJ event. Let's make that
Okay, so it wasn't a drive-by event like
Scarborough in the chat.
Yeah, thanks for
it
clarifying.
wasn't like a Vinny
Scar-
Vegas thing drive-by.
Was it a drive-by fruiting?
Take
It was a
Dennis my
drive-by
way.
fruit.
Yeah, and then I had some. I just had to do a couple things around the house. It's just been a long day. You can tell bags under my eyes. I'm exhausted, but you know what? I figured let's make a run at this and say hi to all the legends here in the chat because you guys are all wonderful people. So what's going on? What I miss?
It's not
What
Mike.
I miss, Staples?
You missed
What I
a
miss?
lot.
You missed Mary, quite contrary.
Oh, was Mary here too?
Yeah.
Mary was.
Yeah, can she come back on and say hi?
I want her to.
I wish she would. At least there'd be
Thank you
something pretty
personally.
to look at around
We
here.
just lost Tom.
You
Yeah,
also missed Sam Nation. Sam Nation was here.
And Sam Nation, yeah.
Oh,
Mary, click the link. Get back
That guy
in
had
there. Let's
so
go.
much great stories and things too, man.
it
Mary's
happened.
like, I am so done.
Mike, listen to this.
See you,
Mike,
Thomas.
listen to this. Like,
There-
Mary was great. Sam Nation was great. So
You gotta
we
take
talked
the
about
hat off.
moderating and Twitch and all this great stuff.
It looks like
Yeah.
shit.
Sam Nation, like, had a direct friendship with Prince. Like, him and Prince would call each other. Sorry, Prince would call him and
Prince
say,
would call him.
Yeah. Like,
Sometimes he'd accept, sometimes he'd decline.
yeah, sometimes like, oh, fucking Prince, don't accept it, whatever.
Don't call me at 3 a.m., artist formerly known as.
How badass is
What do you want
that?
to play basketball and wear your blouses versus shorts?
That is super cool.
Yeah,
did
it
he
was
get-
very cool.
How did he get that? Like, how did that come about?
Well, he moved to Seattle, a little fucker. Oh, sorry.
That's all right, after, it's almost after 10, Benny. Hold the anger.
He was putting down Seattle left and right.
Well, other than Rain and Pearl Jam, what do you have to offer? Jeez.
The Space Needle.
Oh, well, please.
And Starbucks.
Oh, there you go. No, I'm
How
just.
did you get D-Money in the mix? This is exciting. I like to see this handsome face. Look at that guy.
Jeez.
You know how much it cost Staples to get D-Money in here?
How much?
Cost me a whisper. He was whispering nothing's in my ear.
We need to start a hype train.
Wow.
I tricked him into joining the. I say, here, click on this, and
Well, that's how you got Disco Vinny.
Yeah. Now he wishes he could swipe left.
Click on this.
Disco Vinny will click on anything.
Just to see what pops up.
You're killing Mrs. Money in the
Mike
back.
and Terry.
She's dying, guys, dying.
Listen, where's...
I'm embarrassed now that you actually have someone that knows Prince, because I'm going to do my Prince night, and when I dress up as Prince, it's going to look really bad.
Chalk it up to being another Tuesday. It's cool.
I do have the Prince Love Sexy wig, so yeah, it's pretty bad.
I'm gonna watch that show. I love it. I
have a whole Purple Rain jacket. I've got the emblem on the back in rhinestones. It's crazy.
I don't know if anyone's mentioned Disco Vinny, but honestly, I love watching your show because you got a lot of this. The Star Trek thing you did with the swirly. I don't know.
Energized myself.
It was tremendous.
I worked all day. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get this. Damn it.
He had me up to 1:30 in the morning watching that show.
Come on, really?
Telling you, I couldn't
And
get up.
then I couldn't get halfway through the show. For some reason, Streamlabs decided, oh, I'm just going to turn on the Energizer when I want to. And I'm like, what? Scotty, what the hell's going on?
Yeah. Where'd you go? But so awesome. Awesome.
Thank you.
I really think the level of what you're doing is really fantastic. So
did you get to see the intro where I redid the whole Star Trek intro with credits and everything?
I missed it. I'm so sorry. I wish I did.
I think Kenny Vegas saw it.
Yeah, only because you redid it for me for my sake, and I appreciate that because I missed the beginning of the show.
Disco Vinny, do you record all your shows? Like, do you have the video?
I do. I record them, and I thought I was going to put because I don't record them because Streamlabs when you overtax things it likes to crash, so I stopped recording them through the Streamlabs. I just go right to the video on demand on Twitch, and as soon as the show's over, I hit download, and I get the download without any of the audio muted. If you wait,
some people have that option. I don't. Like, I've done it immediately after, and it's already mostly muted. So
Oh yeah, the muting takes time.
Usually, if you do, what I usually do is I have the link ready to go, and then as soon as I hit stop transmitting, I refresh and get the. I mean, you do have to do it right away, or they mute it immediately. I don't know how they do it so quickly. It's ridiculous. And I don't know. It's like, okay, mute the song, but don't mute the part where I'm talking. That's not a song. That's me.
I think it's just a general. Here, just put a bunch of bars here. It's this long. Just throw a bunch in. Just see what happens.
And then there'll be 3 or 4 songs they don't. It's like, why didn't you mute those songs? They're all copyrighted. It's like
if you keep getting your things muted like that, though, you need to be very careful with it because
I've seen the copyright thing, and it says you have 0 strikes against you. But because what I usually do then is go on and I delete the video, so it doesn't.
Yeah.
And I think from what I've been told, as long as you delete them and don't leave them up there or unpublish it, then it doesn't.
Take off clips. Turn off your clips as well. So
and turn off clips as well for sure. Yeah.
I noticed a message actually on my channel, and I'm sure you guys all have it too. It says specifically to the right, I think, where the videos are.
Yeah.
And
it's
copyright.
Any strikes on your channel? Yeah, that's new.
It's new. Yeah, it's new.
Yeah.
Let's not get any, guys. Let's just
Twitch
cruise under the radar.
I'm frustrated with Twitch because they already take half of our freaking money. And so what? You know what? Do what there are other options to go on. Pay the damn fee so you don't have to worry about the copyright. They could just pay for it. And I hope they do it because it is going to become a problem sooner or later.
Yeah.
Real
That's
quick,
why I'm trying to figure out where we're going to hold all these videos, though, right? Like I said, has anyone found a different source to upload their videos copyright free?
My better half is working on it. He's got a couple of different site programs, but he's trying to find one that doesn't charge like $150 a year. So it only charges like $30 a year that you can store your videos and on your own website. That's what my goal is. I want them to be on my website.
Well, here's a question for you. Here's a question. when this world gets back to normal, and I know in the States you guys are a little bit more ahead of us in terms of the vaccines and getting back to somewhat normal, and whatever normal is going to be after this. But will you guys still do Twitch and DJ Twitch? I mean, I've kind of taken a step back from it right now. Yes, I'm getting a little bit busier. Warmer weather's coming, and I'm doing these things, and to jump on a regular is somewhat tough for me right now. So
but the regularity is important, though, Mike.
Pardon?
The regularity is important. It's better that you just do once a week and be regular at it than sporadic.
Yes. I do that. I do my once a week show and my Sunday show, and I was again late for that because I had an event that morning. Or what else? I don't even know what I was doing that morning. I think my wife had to work that day or something, so I was on Presley duty.
Yeah, you had Presley till like 11:30 or something.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, so Mom had to work, and I had Presley. So we had a great day. We watched Shrek, so that refreshes my memory. Thank you, Vinny. So I started later, and
I remind you of Shrek.
Yeah, he likes.
I'm not even green.
Vinny, right here.
For Christ's sake.
So good. So, hey, listen, we were talking on my show on Sunday, Sunday morning at 10 a.m., wink, wink, nudge, nudge, about virtual DJ. And I used it for the very first time, and there was a lot of settings that I had to work out, a lot of kinks, and thank you, Staples and Impressions, for kind of chiming in and helping out. But what, D-Money, I'll ask you, and I'll kind of go around the horn, because I know Disco Vinny's kind of on virtual DJ, but I've been trying it, and I'm kind of liking it. Have you tried it?
So I've tried it.
Did you not like it, or are you Serato through and through? Because I was Serato from day one. From the moment it came out, I had it and went.
I had Torque. Does anyone remember M Audio Torque?
I remember Torque. Yeah, I've never used it.
It was trash. It was great in some respects, and then in other respects it wasn't. It just wasn't industry standard, and I just kept running into problems and hurdles after hurdles, right? So it's a hard support network when you don't have people using it. But you got lots of people using the virtual DJ for decades now at this point.
Yeah.
And so to me, that's an important portion that you can have.
Back when I first started using it, it was not supported that well because it was most people were like you. I tell them virtual, they're like, what? No, Serato, we use Serato. It's like, okay, well, I do video and this does video better. That's how I got hooked on it because they were always able to do video better than any other form. Yeah. And now they're very supported though.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Go ahead, D-Money.
No, I was just saying I had that taste in my mouth still about virtual DJ. It's that weird one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I've never given it another try in like 10 years.
On Serato.
That's the thing. So because when you tried it, you said it was 10 years ago.
Yeah, at least.
Right?
I actually used it as bed tracks when I was doing my radio show here, like in 2012 to 16, but I never really actually used it. It was just bed tracks.
Yeah. So you got to look at it this way too. Is technically you're using Serato DJ Pro, right?
Yeah.
You weren't using that 10 years ago.
No.
10 years ago was Scratch Live, right? And that's evolved and changed. Exactly. So that's the interesting thing there. Is
point.
Like to me, it's worth giving it another shot because it's changed so much. That's why I'm considering it, especially after Mike played on Sunday. I was like, yeah, I think I want to give this a go again.
I
can say I have used all the various formats, but again, to me it made a difference using video. If I wasn't doing video work and I was doing video work, I never stopped. I never understood why DJs stopped doing video, especially in nightclubs. It's like having the video up on the screen is such a huge addition to what you're doing.
But a lot of DJs, their thing is with that is I have the coolest remix that I got from a friend that knows somebody or the artist, directly or something. You know what I mean? So they want to showcase that particular mix.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I think that is kind of gone. I think everyone has their hand in anything they want to get. Unless you're actually making your own beats. Like you can go to a website and grab everything that, like, Thomas has exactly what I have. You guys probably have D-Money. I probably have every, a Crooklyn Clan, a Provids, Extendamix. We all have kind of the same stuff. Yeah. Unless you're making your own. and that's what makes it a little bit. And then you're sharing with people anyway. So
And I've been making my own.
That's what makes Cisco Vinny different, right? He makes his own beats. Yeah.
I make my own videos too, because what was important to me back then, I was always doing 70s, 80s stuff. It's always been my specialty because that's when I grew up. And I wanted to show, it's like, I want you to see Earth, Wind, and Fire on the screen. But if I have a new remix that's all been freshened up of Earth, Wind, and Fire, it doesn't match the video. The video was only made for that radio song. So I have to constantly take the video and mess around with it to make it match the new remix. So that's what I've been doing. It takes a lot of time, but I love the result. It's just fun.
And I love the result as well.
Yeah, it's great.
You're the man, honestly.
It is.
That's why you're in the center right now. You're the man.
He's the center square. He's the Paul Lind of this.
You're like the Alice.
Here's my martini.
Alice to the Brady Bunch.
Nobody knew I was gay.
What?
What is this? This is news to me.
All right, so listen.
Can I answer a question, Driss K? I feel bad. Somebody had a question, and I wanted to address.
What up, Driss?
Oh.
How long does it take you to build a theme? It really depends on the theme. Like this one we did this weekend with the Star Trek thing, with the Spock and the Spec thing. That took 2 days of working on different things, and even up to the point of the show, I didn't have a chance to finish everything up I wanted, but it's like, I got to go on in 15 minutes. I have to stop. I have to cut it here. And unfortunately, my playlist was messed up because of it, because I usually like to put, if it's a theme, I got to pick all the things that fit into that theme, and I kind of put a playlist together to know that, well, in these 5 hours, these are the songs going to play. It got messed up, and unfortunately, I played a couple of things that were not one-hit wonders because I was literally making the playlist while I was talking and doing the special effects. So yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I wish I had more time, but it can take a while. Especially, I'm sure as I get more used to it and do more of it, it'll get easier, and so it'll work faster. But I'm going to
saying that. No,
that's the fun of Twitch. It's not the fun in working a club, DJ. I mean, working a club is great, but it's loud music and a bunch of people drinking usually, and it's just not as connecting. It's not as creative. I am so loving being on Twitch. I miss my clubs, but I don't know. I really think I would focus more on Twitch. I guess the thing is we all have to work and make money. No, everybody hates to say and bring it back to that, but we do have to make a living at what we're doing. So it kind of will depend on how much people can still support you on Twitch and do what you do, as opposed to going back into clubs.
Yeah. Do you make your own costumes, Vinny, or do you buy them?
Yes, both. I as you can imagine, I'm a theater major. Go figure.
No.
So the stage is not something I'm not used to. So
what have you been in, Vinny?
I can make costumes, but sometimes the best costumes are at the Goodwill.
Can you do a D-Money night and dress up like D-Money?
I don't think that would be appropriate.
You can't even see me right now. Like, I'm just ahead. That's it.
But it does frustrate me. D-Money could dress up like me and be okay, but if I dress up like him, I'll get in trouble.
That's true.
I don't like that.
Our prime minister already tried that, and that got him into a little bit of trouble.
Our prime minister already did that.
Look, he made it into the Borat movie, even. I don't know if you guys saw it. Second Borat movie. Made the photograph, made the movie. So, anyway, that being said, I'm going to end our Twitch stream. You guys can all sit back real quick if you don't mind. I want to thank Sam for joining us. I want to thank Mary. That was cool. Real quick, I'm going to plug my own channel. Tomorrow night at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, I'm doing this thing called Artist Spotlight for anybody that cares. I'm going to interview a friend of mine called Richie Rano. Richie Rano was part of a band from the 70s called Stars. They had the same management group as Kiss. Therefore, they kind of followed along a lot of the same social circles. Stars, if you ask guys like Nikki Sixx from Motley Crue or Billy Rowe from Buck Cherry, these guys all say that Stars and My Buddy was a big influence on their careers. So tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific, I'm going to interview my buddy Richie. And then we'll be back hopefully again next Monday doing this with the new cast of characters as far as guests go. Hopefully Eli can join us. I missed him this evening, and the rest of y'all could be here. So To the folks in the chat, thank you for hanging out. We had a hype train earlier for Mary, which was great. So I'll Venmo the money to you, Mary. And any parting shots from you crew here to the folks?
We love you, Mary. You do amazing work for someone that doesn't get paid for doing it. You do amazing stuff. It's so great to have you as support.
Yeah.
All right. So that being said, I'm going to raid another channel.
Why are you going so early? Look at all these
Where
people.
are we raiding?
They're all like got their tissues. They're going, why are they leaving?
I don't want to. I want to stay on top of my carding.
We just got here.
There's 33 people in the
You
chat.
stay there, Mike. Don't go anywhere. I'm trying to,
There's more people in the chat right now than I usually get during my streams.
Exactly.
Well,
I might get a follower after this.
luckily there's more people in the chat. Luckily there's more people in the chat than are on the stream.
Hacker just walked in the room now too.
See?
Hacker.
Just rate it over to Mike Harding's channel.
Hacker, drop a 5-spot for Mary Quite Contrary. Come on, do it.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Thanks for hanging out.
Killer. Take
Appreciate
care.
it, guys.
All right, so don't go anywhere. Don't hang up, folks. Wait.
My God, what's on there now?